Welcome towards the eve before the Premier League starts. It's weird, but it starts tomorrow, Friday night. Tomorrow at forget where, but it starts tomorrow night.
Old Trafford.
It's at Old Trafford. Um, and so it's going to be a very interesting year in the Premier League. I think it's going to be very, very competitive. There is a lot of good teams. And so tonight we will give our bold predictions. Remembered a lot of the predictions of last year. A lot of people were right. A lot of people were wrong. And so we have the panel. Stel, how are you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. I just had Texas barbecue. It's way too hot here, though. It's ridiculous. In fact, it's disgusting, the heat. So I've come inside. Going to do a show with you guys. Big up to Connor, Stefan, you, Ash. Let's go.
Okay. Connor, how are you doing, brother?
All good, man. Fresh out of becoming 21. So I had my birthday on Monday. So, yeah, man. I'm all good. And
you can drink in the US, Connor. Congrats.
Can I drink? Yeah, nearly. So now if I want to go for a pre-season for Arsenal, I can probably legally drink now.
You can have a girlfriend now, Connor. You can have a girlfriend.
You're so funny. He's always got to get that shit in. No, I'm good, man. I'm good, and I'm finally happy the Premier League's back, man. Because fuck me, it's been ages since we've had some decent football on. So yeah, man, looking forward to it, and got some decent predictions hopefully today, and a bit of controversial ones as well. And big up to everyone in the chat as well.
All right, Stefan, how are you doing, brother?
What's up, everybody? I just came back from my own holidays, Greece. Really, really nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so yeah, everything's great my end, and just can't wait for the season to finally start. It feels like it's been ages since the Prem was on. So yeah, good stuff.
Nice. And the man, the legend, Mr. Ashmatic. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, people? Big up yourselves. Big up Mari. Big up Stel, Steph, and Connor, man. We're here, man. Listen, I'm excited that the Prem's back. I'm excited about my team. Not so much. I'll be real. No, I'm sure we'll get into it.
All right. So let's start off right off the bat. I will quickly go with our team's bold predictions. Where do I begin? I'll start with the good.
So back to Arsenal.
I will actually start out with the good. There is a little bit of good. Realistically, I'll say that for last. Bergvall will be our surprise player of the year. And saying that, our midfield, I've been harping my concerns about a midfield. I think he's going to hold his own this season. I think he's one of the only of the young kids or youth that I think is going to have an okay season. So I think he's going to get the plaudits. I really see if he stays healthy, he's going to get minutes. I could see him having a possible 10-10 season, meaning 10 goals, 10 assists, him being our best midfielder this year. That's a bold prediction. Probably my boldest, other than the next one. Well, no, I can't answer that because of the over-under. Damn, I can't answer that. Another bold prediction. I have us finishing 7th this season.
That's not bold, Mari. That's realistic. Sorry to say.
That is, yeah. Well, no, wait. Some of our fan base, no. So some of our fan base that might be bold, because I've heard third, fourth. Look at this guy. He's taking cell phone calls. Who is
Businessman over
money,
it.
man.
Businessman.
He's a money man. Oh no, it's like a baby.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mom.
Sorry, guys. My bad.
Um,
Carry on.
It's the hotel in Greece. He didn't pay the bill.
Yeah.
um,
My bad.
yeah. So, So, what was the second one I was saying? Yes. The second one is we will finish seventh, and the reason why we'll finish seventh is not because of our offense, because I think we'll get a lot of attempts, and we're gonna have a lot of wasted attempts, but we'll also get a lot of goals. The problem is we're going to leak a lot of goals. I won't tell you how many goals I think we're going to leak, but I think it's going to really affect us when we play the really good teams. Just looking at the preseason, watching teams like Hearts and QPR really have their way, especially in the first half. People say, well, preseason doesn't count. Well, no, it does count because you kind of see the philosophy where the team is going. Where you're going to continue to leave your defense where it's a back two of VDV and Romero. I don't care how good they are. It could be Maldini and Cafu back there. It could be Nesta back there. You're put in a predicament. And so you're going to lead a lot of goals. So my bold prediction is that we are going to finish seventh. My bold prediction is that Bergvall will be our player of the year. And the third one, and I wrote it down.
Mari, can I ask how many goals is your new star-studded signing going to score?
Oh, that's the over under question.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, that's the over under question. Actually, I can't say my third one because it's one of the over under questions.
It has to be free. Does it have to be free bowl predictions?
No, it could be two.
It has to be two. Okay.
It could be 3 or 2.
Okay. Well, can I go? Or is it back to Arsenal? What's Arsenal actually? Well, is it Spurs first?
Yeah, Spurs. Go
We
for
go
it.
Spurs first.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna say, can it be delusional as well?
Of course.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
You're going to say win the league, actually, yeah?
I'm just checking. I've got to pick us out. Wow, didn't it? I think Bissouma will pass the balloon to Madison, and I think the gas will get to both of their heads. And I'm gonna say, yeah, we're gonna have less injury. I've been so delayed. Right. Is my internet connection all right? It's crazy. But yeah, my wild and bold prediction is we'll have less injuries because the players' hamstrings will be used to the style of play they're running up and down. Actually, no, let me change it. Sorry. All right, that's one. That's one bold, crazy, delusional take that I've got. Even though we're going to play more games, we'll have less injuries. Second one. This is fun. I'm enjoying this. Second one will be and will adapt. Oh my God.
Oh, that's bold. That's a bold one. That's a
Hey, chat, what we saying? Ange will adapt. Listen, if Ange does not adapt, he is in the bin. I'm telling you that. With the bin juice included. He has to adapt. Has to. Bro. So for me, he didn't say that it can't be delusional. Less injuries and adaptable Ange. That's his new name. AA, Adaptable Ange.
Adaptable Ange. Hey, Ash, can I ask you, what is more bold? Ange parking the bus in a game or Ange adapting?
Wow, is that what we're doing? I think Ange. What's more bold?
Yeah.
I like
He
Rich's one.
He would never bus.
That's true.
could never see him parking the bus. Never, ever. But I could see him adapting. So that's why I'm going with that. Bold. Said it with chest as well. Didn't start. Who's next? Go on, Stel.
I think Angie's going to take the balloon gas. I think Angie's going to take some of the gas.
Yeah.
I think Angie's going to be, fuck this. This isn't working. Just...
Hey, Bruce, give me some of that. Let me take one hit, please.
Bissouma will be captain as well.
What else you got?
Oh, man. Bold prediction. I think not all, but a loud enough section of the fan base will begin to turn against Ange this season. I think people are going to get fed up pretty quick if this defensive tactic doesn't change. And I don't think he's going to change it. So I think fans will begin to put a lot of pressure on him this season. And I also think, I fucking hate this, but I do think Arsenal will win a trophy, but not necessarily a big one. Not a big one. I think Arteta's under a lot of pressure now. He has to win at least an FA Cup or Carabao, and I think he'll just do it. I think he'll probably win one of those two. They're good enough to do it. So, Arsenal to win a domestic cup and fans to start taking laughing gas because of Ange. So there you go.
And when I said 10 and 10, I meant like all competitions, not just the EPL. Football ball. Yeah, all competitions.
Connor, me or you for Arsenal? Do you want to go first?
We'll go me because this will get like oh my fucking god! I'm ready. I'm ready for these one of the Stefan lines. My bold predictions for this season.
Guys,
I believe. I don't know. Do I step away? Can I do like an away from Arsenal one, or does it have to be to do with Arsenal?
Do whatever you want.
Okay.
Spurs,
Okay.
right?
I personally believe that. Actually, this isn't really like a bold one. I still don't believe Chelsea are going to. I don't think they're going to achieve European football this season. I've already made that clear in my head. I think they're going to get 8th or 9th. I just think they're just not anywhere near improved as they have been last. Cole Palmer still probably is obviously going to be there, but I still think he's going to be awful. I think that. I think honestly, I would put Palace up there to achieve 7th. I really like Palace and what they're building in their team. I really like their manager. I like some of the players they've got. So I put them up high. I think they're going to achieve higher than what they usually do. You know how they normally is mid-table, 11th, 12th, somewhere down there, 10th. So I hope they achieve a bit higher this season because I'm a big fan of Glasner and what he's building. It's not a bold... No, I'll leave that for later, actually. Another bold statement. I believe Nuno Espirito Santo is going to be the first manager sacked this season. I don't rate him at all. And I think he's going to just crumble for Nottingham Forest. They're actually one of my team. Are we doing a league predictor today, Mari? Are we doing predictions? So I won't give that away yet.
Manager to get sacked, which you just answered.
Oh, apologies. Didn't mean to. I'll move away from that. I'll do Arsenal. If I want to stick with Arsenal, I think
you made us proud, Connor.
I think Odegaard will have his best season this season. I think he's really coming into his own. I predict that Arsenal won't sign a striker in the summer window. I don't think it's going to happen. And I believe we're going to... I know it's a bit of a, sort of still there. I believe we're still going to get 2nd or 3rd this season. I don't think we're going to win the league. That's my bold statements. So my bold statements for Arsenal are, I think Odegaard will get... I think he could get up there with high for a gold... What was it called? What's the assist trophy for what is it called? What's it called?
Playmaker?
Whatever, yeah, most assists. I think, fuck it, I'll just do it. I think Odegaard's going to get the most assists in the league this season. Fuck it, why not? Why not? I think he's improving every year. And I'm not going to lie, I used to be Odegaard's biggest hater, now I'm his biggest lover. So I think he's going to be up there for most assists this season. Fuck it, why not? I believe we're going to concede the least as well this season, again. I'm confident about that. I'm confident about
what a bold prediction, Connor.
It's not a bold prediction because Man City could do it. I don't know. And I believe we're going to finish 2nd or 3rd this season. I don't believe we're going to win.
Okay.
They're my Bold predictions. Keep an eye out on Crystal Palace. I'm telling you right now. Crystal Palace, keep an eye out. That's what I'm going to say.
What about Brighton?
Keep an eye out.
So,
Mate, what about West Ham? West Ham are
yeah. No, for
I
me,
don't know. You can never tell with West Ham, even with the signings.
Save it for the surprise team of the
a
season.
lot of good
yeah,
signings,
bold.
man.
Wait, the
Yeah.
show. You ruined the show, guys.
Bold predictions for me is I predict Kai Havertz is going to score over 20 goals.
Whoa, you
This year,
are
actually,
bold.
no, you know what?
Easy.
Yeah, easy.
Or EPL.
EPL, I'm going to go 20 goals. Yeah, I'm going to go 20 goals.
Jeez.
I predict 20 goals because if you watch this pace from January 2024, if there were more games, he would have scored over 20 goals based on the way he was playing from center forward the moment he moved. My other bold prediction, I don't know if it comes into as a surprise of the year or anything, but I predict that Brighton is going to make Champions League. For me, Brighton are the unanimous winners of the window. I've been extremely impressed by the players that they have bought and are going to buy now. So for me, I really think Brighton are going to have an amazing season because of the fact that they have only one game a week. So that's my bold prediction. They're going to make the Champions League for the first time. My third bold prediction is my third bold prediction is that Spurs are going to concede over 65 goals and break their and
You answered the over and under question.
oh fuck, sorry, my bad, Mari. Yeah,
We should have done this bold bit, Mari. We should have got straight into it. It's like
another way.
Yeah.
Let me think of another bold
pictures
prediction.
afterwards.
I'm gonna go for this season that the top goal scorer for next. Can I say top goal scorer? Is that a bold?
Yeah, you can say that.
I'm gonna go for Alexander Isaac. He's gonna beat Haaland.
You just. I'm gonna explain that later on.
Yeah. That's my final bold prediction.
Yeah.
It's not really that bold, though, is it?
It is because he finished, I think, 4th or 5th last year.
All right, do you know? Let's just do it. Ash, it's not that bold. Arsenal going to finish 20 points clear from every other team. There we go. There's a bold. There we go.
Yes.
There we go. Is that what you want, Ash? Yeah.
I love it.
You kind of already did that. You kind of already did that already last year.
Question for us.
You did. You were 25 points ahead of Spurs and Villa.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's true.
Listen, he's turned 21 and you can't count.
Questions for Mari, Stel, and Ash. And my question is, how many wins will we get, and what will our record versus the likes of City, Arsenal, Villa, Newcastle, West Ham, Chelsea, United, and Liverpool? Or I will say this. I'm not going to tell you how many wins, but I'll tell you very quickly. With City, I hate predicting that because we always seem to get at least 1 point from these guys.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, you didn't at the end of last season, did you? Couldn't do us one favor, could you?
Yeah.
Useless bastard.
Yeah. I will say
0. I'm away.
Okay. No, I'm gonna quickly say this. We got that point. I still don't remember how we got that point. I'm gonna say 0 against City. I'm gonna say 0 against hate saying it, but I'm gonna say 0 against Arsenal. We don't have a set piece coach. Arsenal just got stronger on set pieces and just scored 2 goals set piece over the weekend over Lyon. Don't like that. Against Villa.
Yeah, that's the only possible.
I'll say 3. Newcastle, I have 0. West Ham, I'll go 3. Chelsea, we don't ever get points against Chelsea except that 1 year, but they beat us twice last season. But Maresco,
you haven't won. I read this.
No. We'll get 3.
Bridge. Have you since, was it 2015?
Yeah, we'll get 3 against Chelsea because I'm gonna explain that later on. And then United.
It's Old Trafford. You guys suck there.
Yeah. At home, Because I have us for 7th. I'm not gonna have
Mari, right? While we're beating around the bush here, we can beat any of these teams if Ange defends properly. We've proven we can score against them. We've proven that we can attack them. We've proven that we can give them a game. We've proven that for 15, 20, 30 minutes, we can match them. But it's as soon as we concede and we continue to concede, we don't know how to fix it. It's all going to come down to that for Spurs. I'm not worried about Spurs attacking. You know that. I'm worried about defending. I think attack, we've got enough to be a top 4 team this season. I really do. Defensively, though, we look like a bottom 4 team.
All right, look at Chelsea, for example. If they get Osimhen and the Napoli officials were in London, I'm sorry, as bad as people want to say Chelsea's defense is, that attack of Cole
Mari,
Palmer,
don't do it. Mari, you've been doing it for the last 2 seasons.
and
Don't do it, Mari.
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm just saying against us in our high line and the defense and our tactics, they're going to score goals.
Any team.
Yeah, but you're going to score goals on them.
Brighton, Fulham, Crystal Palace, any team.
I think the idea is that we're trying to outscore teams. You know, like what Liverpool used to do, where they punch teams up early, and then it's just hard for you to get back in the game because your momentum's killed. Like when we played them, we got peppered at Anfield. You know what I'm saying? It ended like 4-2 or something like that. But because they scored those goals early, we were like, it was hard for us to get back in. So I think that's the thought process. But in real life, go on, Stel.
I was going to say, but they didn't have Robertson and Trent pushed up right to the edge of the other team's box. They didn't have. Who's that guy? Who's that number 6 they had? I forgot his name. Tall, lanky guy.
The number 6 they had.
Number 6.
They sold him.
Szoboszlai? Are you thinking about Szoboszlai?
Number 6. Fabinho.
There was someone they had under Klopp the season they won the league who played in that kind of defensive midfield.
Fabinho. Yeah.
Right. They had him as well. We don't have that, and we've got wing backs. But we've got. I think Romero and Van der Ven are very good defenders. I do.
No, they are good defenders.
The tactic kills us. I think Ash is right. We outscore them.
Can I throw a question?
Position, but Liverpool, when they had to defend, they had fullbacks that weren't both high up, and they had Fabinho. Can
I put you throw like a spanner in the works? I don't know if this goes a bit off topic, Mara. I don't mean to. Because obviously you guys haven't really invested in your bench as much again. One injury again to Van der Ven or Romero. Is it worrying again? I know you've got Jaggers in now, but is that is that going to diminish your chances of whatever your predictor is?
Porro, do you trust Jed Spence? If we're back to Ben Davies, if Porro gets, I don't really think we had the depth that people are saying that we do, because any injury to anybody in our back line, it's
Murray. It doesn't matter who we play at wing back. We can have Kyle Walker and prime Ashley Cole. If they're playing as attacking mids, we're fucked.
No, that's true.
No, it's just Ash. I just want to tell you, it's so beautiful to see how everybody now called me a hater for saying that this football, they're gonna find it out. It's not sustainable now. Everybody is saying the same shit I said last year in September. It's so beautiful to hear, and everybody's saying the main reason why is the system. It's so beautiful. Whenever they called me a hater for saying that it's too open, they give away too many chances. Now it's, I'm going to be intrigued to see how Ange handles.
It took us time to get there, Stefan. It took us some time to get there.
But I saw it still. I saw those games, though. I told you, those first 10 games, if you watch them again, you got lucky in half of them because the other team had plenty of chances. The only 2 games that you won where you truly played better than the other team are Newcastle at home and Burnley away. If you watch all the other games, Man United that you celebrated winning, Man United should have been 2-3-0 up in the first half. Like some of the games, Arsenal should have been 2-3-0 up at the Emirates in the first 30 minutes. So all of this talk that you guys were about this Ange effect,
but
it was bullshit. Like I told you, and it's so nice to see.
But I also told you all year, Connor's my witness, that Arsenal will choke at the end and win nothing, and that's exactly what happened. And you fought me. Well, hold on a minute. You got to be humble. You got to be humble as well now. And you fought me. You fought me all year long And I told you all year long. So it works both
But
ways.
we didn't choke.
Does work,
We
you
won
know.
16 out of the last 17 games.
2-0 at Aston Villa at home, man.
Yes, the only game that we didn't win in the last 17 games of the season.
Champions
How is that
League.
choking?
Champions League by Munich.
That was an important game, bro.
Eric Dyer at centre back.
That was the important. Okay. We lost one game,
And
out
we
of
nearly
17.
fucked it to Everton. Yeah,
Yeah, but we still won the game.
You got
We
lucky
still
as well.
won-
You
we
got
won the
lucky.
game.
I wouldn't call it. I don't even know what to call it. I mean, everyone calls it bottling. Everyone calls it choking. I don't even know.
How
Do you know
is it
what? I
bottling?
wouldn't even call it bad luck. Do you know what it is? At the end of the day, if you want to be champions, you've got to be perfectionists. You've got to be perfect. You know, you can't.
If you're playing against Man City.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Liverpool,
No, I understand. No, I get that, but I just mean in general, in any sport, I think if you want to be a champion, you can't just say, "Oh, I'm just going to be a champion."
Connor.
You've got to be perfect.
All I said
No,
was,
I
you're gonna win
agree.
nothing. That's all I said. You're
agree.
going to win nothing, and that's what happened. And I did try and
No.
tell you. That's my point.
You guys can make yourself feel better about bottling, but what bottling was.
Okay, but you won
was-
nothing.
wait,
That was my
was-
point.
wait.
I said
No,
you were going to
was-
win nothing. You
No,
didn't.
but
we're
wait,
back here again.
Okay, wait. Bottling was being
He
first.
can't sit there saying, I told you about Andrew's tactics. I told you
Welcome
about
to the
Andrew's
new
tactics.
season, guys.
But when I said you
Welcome
weren't
to
going to
the
win nothing, you won't accept that, though. Why?
Still, you said we were going to finish behind Liverpool and Man City. Do you remember that
I
statement?
don't think I want the
No.
season back now.
No, I said-
Yes,
you
yes,
weren't gonna win
yes, you
anything.
did. Yes, you did. Go back.
Anyway, listen, I've said my bit.
No, I just want to end in this. Stell is right. We didn't win anything in the end, but we were also not the first team to ever be first after the first 10 games and not finish in the top 4. So well done there. If that's not choking, then I don't know if Arsenal's is, but okay.
Michael, welcome to the panel.
Welcome here.
Bold predictions. I mean, what predictions? I mean, get the question. Bold predictions for our teams. I said that Bergvall, all comps, 10-10, 10 goals, 10 assists. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's supposed to be a bold prediction, right?
Yeah,
So-
it's bold. But we will finish. I kind of gave my prediction. We'll finish 7th. Which is not
you know,
it's bold to those who believe we'll finish top 4, but we'll finish 7th.
You know that there is one thing I have to say, right? And I'm noticing it more and more ever since I joined this like YouTube community, right? But over like past few years, I think like a lot of our fans are so like down in the dumps about this club that we acknowledge this like martyr self-whiplashing, approach. When we get asked about our club, no, we will be 9th. No, we are shit. No, we won't win anywhere. Grow some fucking balls, some of you. Jesus Christ. It's like, I know we aren't great, right? But it's also not like all the way to the other side, right? It's seriously like some of the comments I'm watching about our fans and the content I'm watching, and I'm hearing like, yes, we will finish 9th. Brighton are better than us. Newcastle are better than us. Chelsea shits all over us. United shits all over us. Fucking hell! It's like, I know we are not winning anything, right? And I'm not saying Spurs fans should be predicting us to win trophies, right? But the audacity from Manchester United fans I'm not seeing recently, right? The audacity that they have after the season that they had with the same fucking gaffer, and they are predicting to be second, over Arsenal or something.
I saw that, yeah.
I
saw that.
I'm like, fucking hell. And I'm not saying we should be the same way, but it's like this, as I said, this like martyr self-whiplashing. Oh no, no, we don't want to put our heads up. We don't want to risk saying anything bad. We are just little Spurs. Like, are we fucking Crystal Palace or what? Like, like, sorry, I have to get it off my back.
Where's your bold prediction, Len? Hey, Michael, what's your bold prediction? I want to hear.
All that
Bold prediction, Spurs bottom 10.
What an idiot.
It's really
No.
And your bold
I think-
prediction, Michael.
I love it, though. I love the energy.
I love it.
Okay, one of my bold predictions: Man United will finish outside of Europe. That's
Shit.
one of my bold
Okay.
predictions. My second bold prediction is
Oh,
Newcastle will be in the Champions League again. That's the
Do you think
second
Chelsea
one.
finish above United, Mihal?
Definitely, but not
No.
above
Wow.
us.
You know?
Michael,
No,
Michael,
I-
they're not finishing in
I
the top
kid you
10.
not.
How about
You know
Spurs?
what?
Bold
You know
prediction
what?
about Spurs.
You know what? With Chelsea and United, right? I think United overall like have a better structure and squad, let's call it, right? But I am so disappointed with how shit Ten Hag is that I honestly believe he will be the guy that brings them down. And unless they sack him throughout, like in the middle of the season, then they can go on to achieve better things. But I think this guy is so shit in the league, right? Because I know, like, I will get comments that he won the cups. Fair enough, in the cups, different gravy, right? But in the league, he's been so shit. They've been so pathetic. If you look at the points that they should have accumulated last season, they were 15th in the predicted points, right? It's no joke.
No,
I think they
worst,
are.
No,
I
Michael,
think they are
yeah.
trash.
No, the worst that I ever saw was they conceded the most amount of shots in the Premier League, apart from Sheffield United.
Who conceded 104 goals in the league? It's like, seriously, when you look at all the stats, right? They are trash. The only thing that saved them was shithousing results where they didn't deserve to win anything, right?
That's true.
And it's not I don't have like any agendas against United. I don't mind the club, right? But it's like I'm trying to like counteract the audacity of those fans, the self-righteousness that they have, and the self-belief that even though they didn't change the gaffer and just bought a 60 million 18-year-old center back that got injured for 3 months, and now they think they will finish above Arsenal. It's like,
Michael, it's Man United fans, man. Did they think Kobe Mainoo is better than Declan Rice already, and that he's generational?
He's a good player,
he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, right? But it's like
they always do this.
They're going too far to one side, that I think Spurs fans are going too far to the other side. Some of us, right? At least I think, like, some of us predicting us like bottom 10 or like losing every away match and all that stuff. I know we have issues in the team. I know our squad isn't the best, right? But it's also not as bad as people say it is, right? And Mario asked me for a bold prediction about Spurs.
Yeah.
I honestly think we'll just be that team that finishes like 5th or 6th, and there will be nothing special about what we do. I think we will lose some matches, we will win some matches.
What's bold about that?
No, that's why I'm going to say that I don't have a bold prediction about Spurs, because I don't think we'll do anything bold. The only bold prediction, and it's more about like I have like a weird feeling. I have like a weird feeling about it, but I think we'll do great in Europa, but I don't think we'll win it.
You think Newcastle better than Spurs?
Newcastle, yeah, I think they are. With 1 game a week.
Yeah, people are forgetting this about Brighton and about Newcastle.
Well, let's save that because I'm gonna get to now our questions. And I think the first question I'm gonna start with. Let me start with over and under. All right.
Oh, this will be fun. This
should be fun. All right. Let's not take long. Let's be quick to the point. Over and under. Solanke healthy, 38 games, 20 EPL goals.
No chance.
We'll start with Stel. Over or under?
No. Under. He's had one good season in his entire life. His running stat total is worse than Richarlison. If you look at ratio of goals to games, even Heung-min Son, one of our greatest players in the last 20 years, he's never had back-to-back seasons of 19-20. So we're going to say Solanke's going to do that. Look, unless this guy scores 1 million tap-ins, because we're good at those, and he scores all the tap-ins that Werner and Johnson missed, then I think, look, if he gets between 15 and 19, he's had a good season.
Yeah.
Agreed.
For 65 million, that's not even good enough, though. So,
well, yeah.
I don't think
about that.
But then again, no one's going to pay cheap for a striker now.
Bro, when you pay 65 million, you want something. You want at least 20 goals a year. So,
if Arsenal paid 65 million for Solanke, would you have been happy?
Say that again.
Sorry?
I just want to ask Connor, if Arsenal had paid 65 million for Solanke, would you have been happy with that?
It's difficult because I don't know.
We've been doing emergency podcasts.
Yeah, no. Wait, what?
You've been doing emergency podcast, emergency shows.
They paid 65 million for Havertz from Chelsea. That didn't do too well. Had low goal percentage, and then Arteta had a vision for him.
Solanke's a 50-50 for me. Do you know what? If we could have had Solanke on a 6-month loan last season, I would have taken it. But then again, we say the point. I want to obviously Murray wants to go on, but you're never going to pay cheap for any striker nowadays. In all honesty,
especially an English guy.
You're just not going to pay cheap for a striker,
unless
it's a really unknown one that no one knows about, and he comes in and he does an absolute madness. So yeah, it's difficult because honestly, we need a striker at the club, in my opinion. But anyway, that's not the point. I'm going to answer Murray's question. Murray, I actually predicted that he's going to get bang on 20. I think he can do it. I really want him to carry on his form from last season. It'd be interesting to see how well he links up with Son. I think Son is looking for that partner, that former Harry Kane. I'm not saying Solanke's anywhere near Harry Kane because he's not. But I'm going to be interested to see how he adapts to Tottenham's team. I think he's a good striker. I do think he's good. Do I think he's the best of the best? No. I'll keep it honest and real. But do I think he'll fit into Tottenham's team? I do think he will. And let's see if Maddison keeps full fitness for the whole season. We'll have to wait and see. But honestly, I'm going to stick there. I'm going to say he'll get. I'm not going to say overall. I'm going to say 20 goals. I think he could. I think he can get 20 goals in my opinion for this season.
Stepping over under.
I'm gonna say just under. I predict he's gonna score 15 goals. I think Spurs create a lot of chances in general. I just worry. The only reason why I don't think he'll reach the same number as he did with Bournemouth is if you watch a lot of the goals that he scored with Bournemouth were headed goals, and Spurs rarely cross in the air. And for me, if you watch their crossing, Spurs is usually hard and fast on the ground, and I don't think he's as effective at that than in the air. But I'm very intrigued because I actually read about him. He's got great character. He's rarely injured, so it shows that he's very professional and on top of things. But like Stel said, I think on Tottenham last week, playing for Bournemouth, where you're guaranteed to start every week and there's not that much pressure compared to playing for Spurs are two very different things, and it'll be intriguing to see how he actually works there.
Yeah. Ash?
Goals, I think he'll get, I have to agree, around 14 to 15 goals for Spurs. I'm reading his stats right now. It says 4 headed goals. I think Richarlison wasn't too far off that, despite us not crossing balls into the box. So let's take away 2 or 3 goals from his headed goals there. Left foot goal, he got 1, and then 14 right footed goals from open play. So if you take away the headed goals, and 1 penalty he scored as well in the league. If you take away the headed goals, he scored 15 goals. He scored 15 goals without a penalty and without headed goals. So that's the reason why I think. And also in the box, he scored 17 of those goals in the box and only 2 from outside the box. So I think he's more of a box striker. I'm looking at his map, his goal map, and those goals are in and around that penalty spot. When I did watch him, he did have a couple goals when he had back to goal and he was able to turn or do something quick with his feet and then get a shot off. So he has got that in his locker. And there was a couple goals I remember when he was getting on the end of things. He did that type of Son goal where he ran across the box and then he used the inside of his foot to kind of flick it in, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think under 20 goals as well.
Ash, do you think those goals that you listed in terms of the predicted goals, do you think a lot of them are going to be against the smaller / mid-table teams?
Yeah. What I read was the biggest teams he scored against was like Villa and Newcastle and Manchester United. But obviously, in context, Man United had a poor centre-back pairing. I think it was one of the academy boys at the time. And Evans. And then the other time was, what's their left back? Luke Shaw and a pairing of Martinez, something crazy like that. It wasn't their proper centre back. So it was Man United, Villa, and Newcastle. Those are the biggest teams he scored against. So I expect him to score against the lower teams and bully them. But when it comes to like your Arsenal's, teams that are a bit more physical, Chelsea,
Yeah, but
etc.
also he was playing for Bournemouth, right? With all due respect to Bournemouth, I actually like respect what they've done, right? But I listen. I was like saying about the martyr thing, right? If someone from the chat tries to argue with me that we aren't better than Bournemouth, then fuck me, right? Like, sorry, but we are better than Bournemouth.
No, Michael,
It's
the
like-
only counter argument, if you look at
is the style of play, right?
No, not the style of play. If you look at Ivan Toney's pie chart of goals, Ivan Toney scores against Arsenal, scores against Spurs, against Chelsea, scores. I think he scored against Man U. Yeah, he did. If you look at Ivan Toney scores usually against the better teams, and Brentford finished. I think Brentford and Bournemouth pretty much finished in the same. So that's why people are a bit skeptical, because one of Stel's biggest complaints that he pulls up the chart of Richarlison, Kulusevski, Brennan Johnson is that they don't score against the better teams. And Solanke...
Sorry to put you out there. That's the question. Sorry to interrupt, Stefan. What's actually happening with Richarlison this season? Is he being sold? Is he going to be secondary striker?
Staying.
No, probably staying.
So is he going to be secondary striker?
He said home in his story, but apparently, like, I don't mind him fighting for that place. For that he's wearing the number 9, and Solanke wants it, and he's the type of.
What number Solanke? What number?
We don't know.
I recognize.
He's not gonna. Hey guys. This is. I should have said that as one of my bold predictions, that Richarlison is going to throw a strop and be removed from the team.
Yeah,
I should have said that. Because if you look at Richarlison, the guy talks shit to Antonio Conte when he had scored fucking 2 goals in the whole season.
By the way, Mari under. I think he will score under 20, but like just under. I think he will be somewhere between like 15 to 18, which I know like. Everyone will tell me it's not satisfying, but I think it is. I think if we add a striker that reliably scores 1 and 2, that's good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Good, not great, not world class, not that's good, right? I think.
Can I say Stefan hit the nail on the head? Solanke is the same as Richarlison, Johnson, Werner, Kulu. Goes missing in 75 to 80% of games against the top 10 teams. No goals, no assists, goes missing. He's had the same record last year. He's the same mold. They're not big pressure players. The big pressure players in our club are Porro and Son. They're the only ones who consistently delivered goals or assists against those top 10 teams.
Kulu too, still from time to time.
Kulu, right?
Kulu.
No,
Kulu.
He went missing in 80% of the games against the top 10.
Yeah, but I always remember him in like against Arsenal when you lost at White Hart Lane. Kulu was your best player. He plays well in the big game.
But he score and he didn't create an assist.
Madison created against Arsenal.
What? He scored against City. What are you on about?
That's one player.
Yeah, but that's the 20% of when he turns up. Then Michael.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Okay, can we see the season? Like we are already bashing Solanke before he even kicked the.
No, we're not bashing Solanke. We're looking at the facts of what he did last season is exactly the same as the players we've got.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, but wait, Michael, you're making out to be as if Bournemouth were a really good team last year. They were really good, especially in the
right. So or something like
I
that.
go under.
All I'm saying is to not go too hard on the guy that has.
No, I think 15 goals isn't going too hard.
I'm
sorry.
Right.
15 goals. Yeah, I have him scored.
Michael's being a bit of a fraud here. No, Michael, I'm calling you out.
Why?
Richarlison scored 13 goals for Everton, who were in a relegation battle. So this playing for a rubbish club means nothing to me. You get chances for any club you play.
Yeah, but I think Solanke is better than Richarlison.
For sure. No,
the stats don't say that. I'm sorry, the stats don't say that. The stats do not say that.
Sorry, Richarlison scored like what? 11 goals more than Solanke
Michael,
and played like 6,000 minutes more. It's like
right. No, hold on. Right. I will agree. I'll meet you halfway. I agree as a football player, Solanke's better as a footballer.
Yeah,
technical touch, decision making. As a striker, I'm sorry, he has not proven that. He hasn't.
Okay.
No,
We gotta go to the next. We gotta go to the next.
Yeah,
Okay, final thing,
we can like discuss this.
Yeah, final thing. We'll move. If you look at some of the metrics of Solanke compared to Richarlison is actually better in a number of those metrics. The other thing that I would gladly poo-poo on the Solanke transfer as an Arsenal fan is if you look at his 19 goals, he had a hot streak in the first 3 months of the season. He regressed as the season progressed. He
How many
scored
goals
most
did
of his goals.
How much goal did he get in the second half?
I don't remember, but I remember it was much before
Was it
2024.
below
It was more.
Goals.
I will check. Just give me a second.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
I-
but that
I-
suits Tottenham perfectly because we regress as the season goes on. He'll fit in
Yeah,
like a glove.
We'll let Maury give his answer now. We'll let
I just
Maury
want
give his
to. I want to
answer.
make sure that's factually correct. But sorry,
Under and
Yeah,
I,
fact check.
I have him scoring about 15, 16 goals, which is not bad. I just think it's under 20. The next question, I will start out over and under Gabriel Jesus, 15 EPL goals. I'm going to go with under.
So he scored 12 in the first half, first 19 games, and 7 in the second half.
So I was right.
So it's like, I mean, it's not like
It's okay. It's
15 and 4, right? But
Yeah.
I get the point, right?
So I have Gabriel Jesus scoring about 11 to 12 goals if he stays healthy this season for Arsenal. So I'll go with the under. Stel?
Under 10 goals max. This guy's not going to be fit for a whole season. No way.
True, man. That's the main.
He won't stay fit.
That's the main reason.
Connor?
Should be sold really. Under, I'll go maximum 8 or 9 because that's what he's averaging pretty much at the moment anyway. I think even when he moved to the Prem, I don't even know what he done at City.
No.
No. That's tell a lie. No, he cooked to City. No, but even
he scored for City.
Arsenal, he scored like 19 goals and like 60 appearances. I'm just not a big fan
No.
of
He
it.
averaged before the injury. He averaged more. He averaged a goal or an assist per game. So
I still listen. I'll tell you this right. If Gabriel Jesus, right, if Gabriel Jesus probably owns it, whatever console, right, he has all the buttons right here, but you don't press this. You don't press the fucking shoot button. I swear to God, the amount of times I watch games of this guy and he doesn't shoot. He's got. This is the thing with Gabriel Jesus, right? I'm not even going to shit on him. He's got all the flair, all the technical ability. He's a great on the ball. He is a good footballer. It'll do flicks and tricks like any great Brazilian would do. Because we know Brazilians are all flary and techy with the football, right? But my guy just doesn't shoot. There was I don't know what preseason game was. He actually scored a really good goal, but it's so rare when you actually catch this guy shooting. It's like he's really nervous.
Connor, can I ask you a question about this? Right?
What,
do you think his best position is striker?
No, it's right wing. It's right wing, and I don't think
maybe that's why he doesn't shoot as often. He hasn't got that striker.
Maybe it is.
I actually think his best position is behind a bona fide striker,
centre forward. Yeah,
like Thomas Mueller to create chaos. Because as a forward, in terms of stats, the way he brings up and builds up play and creates chances, he's actually amazing. He's top and.
Is that what they call a false 9? Is he a false 9?
He's like I wouldn't say like because Alvarez is a really good fit. I would say more like Bobby Firmino, because Firmino was not a good finisher. Very similar, I would say. But he was so good for the team. His pressing, his defensive.
Yeah, but what Firmino did was the way Klopp set them up. He'd play in the number 9 role, and then he'd drop, receive the ball, Salah and Mane go in, and then he'd feed them in.
Yeah. No, but Jesus can do that. But what Jesus compared to Firmino was a better passer maybe. But Jesus can dribble and go and take 3 players out of the game and then pass it to Martinelli and Saka and then overload on that wing. That's why I think Arsenal fans are really sleeping on Jesus, because they forget that especially him, the first 3 months of that season when we accumulated, I think 50 points in the first. Forgot how many games in the first I forgot.
Well, last season.
Last season.
Yeah.
Before
I won't forget the United goal, man. The United goal was cold, man. He's too good.
He's so techy on the ball. His footballing ability is there.
He tries too hard.
He does. Yeah, 1000%. That's exactly how I put it. He tries way too hard. He overthinks everything. He overcomplicates it. However, I do actually agree. I think if he was behind a certified striker, I think he'd actually cook a lot more better. It's just the problem with him. He overthinks everything, and it ends up in him either missing a chance. And I hate that stupid face he pulls. And I'm pulling little things here that he pulls this stupid, like crying, moping face. It's just like fucking hell, grow up.
He's just his face, Connor.
Yeah, pretty much, Ash. Yeah, like,
It's just his face. No, but
I don't think you have
honestly,
space
though,
for such a role, right? You have.
but no, he's good.
like,
He's good. I want to make it
Odegaard-
clear before any Arsenal fans lose their shit. He's technically very, very good. He just doesn't want to shoot a ball now.
Yeah,
And
but
he needs to do that.
yeah, but you guys say he would be like a great like first 9 or number 10 or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
right? But I don't think you have space for it, right? Because
No,
he
we
won't
don't.
drop-
In this system,
won't
no
drop
way.
Odegaard,
Not in this
he
system.
won't
Unless he plays
drop
right wing, there's no
whoever is
fit.
there, right?
I completely disagree. We need options. Kai Havertz is one type of profile in the center forward position, a bit more kind of old school, good in the air, a bit more kind of builds up play. But let's say Kai Havertz is going through a bad period, or we need some sort of spark. Like people forget Bayern
Stefan,
Munich.
I'm like mentioning something different. I'm saying that you won't have space to play both Havertz and
Maybe,
Jesus,
sorry.
right? Because you guys say that his best position would be behind the striker.
Sure.
But if he were to play there, then you would have to like drop Odegaard or drop someone else, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Because like you can't field 12 players, right? So
Unless he
yeah,
plays
over or under, Stefan,
Yeah.
over or
over
under.
under. I would say he's gonna score. I'm gonna say this: if he stays fit, he's gonna score 14, 15 goals. I would say if he stays
But
fit.
don't you
In
think
the
he'd be more of a
Premier,
bench
I
player this
really-
season, Stefan?
I really rate Gabriel Jesus. I saw what he could do in those first 3 months before the injury, and I really think he's had a really good preseason. He looks really fit. He looks ready to go. I would say 15 goals, but also 15 assists. The way he brings players and the amount of goals and assists.
30. Wow, there you go.
I'm telling Jesus is really look. Just for me, he's a great. I think he's a super player to have.
15 assists.
Yeah, I'm gonna say both. 15 goals. I would say
he doesn't
he might
start.
even.
Right,
Wait. Let me just caveat that. He might even get, if he gets 12 goals, for example, or 13. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another maybe 12 assists or the same amount of assists as he gets.
Sorry, the earlier one was Havertz as what? 20 plus goals.
Yeah.
And Jesus, 15 assists. Okay, cool. I got it.
I'm sorry, he doesn't get 15 assists. And I'll tell you that.
It ends up with like 120 Arsenal goals in the season.
Okay, lastly, let me.
Wait, we got.
Okay, Ash, under or over, because like we.
Yeah, we're longing this out now. We're longing this out.
Under. I think
It's like
it's so typical, and it's such a basic answer, but I think he's a confidence player. Compared to how he started off, I thought he was a problem. I was like, see, he's a gem. But then I saw the fall off after the injury. I said, yeah, his confidence is shot to pieces. He is not the same guy. He's not the same Brazilian. He hasn't got the same flair. And yeah, that's what it is for me. Under.
Yeah, under for me too. I just don't, but it's mainly because I don't think he will stay fit, and I think as soon as he like goes down with an injury, Havertz will be back up top as the main striker, and I think Havertz will do well for you guys. So I think like Arteta will have all the incentives to keep playing with Havertz and use Jesus more as an like impact player. So yeah, that's the way I see it.
Next question. Over under Spurs defense allows 55 goals in the EPL.
Before we do this, did you concede 65 last season?
60.
61.
61.
So I'm having a baseline there. I'm going to say over. It's the reason why I predicted us to finish 7th. The defense will be our downfall. Fans will say, look at that back line. We have Udogie, BDV, Romero, and Poro. Great. But the problem is the tactics, the defense. We are so exposed, right? First of all, we don't have a number 6, but Ange doesn't play with a number 6, right? We talked about 2 wing backs playing in the middle, inverted. So basically, we're on the counter. We're playing with a back 2, VDV is going to pull another hamstring. He's going to. He can't. I mean, yes, he's the quickest person in the EPL, but I don't like the fact that he has to cover our defense time in and time again. So I think we'll score a lot of goals because we'll have our chances, but we will leak a lot of goals. And I'm going to be honest, we gave up 61 goals last season. I think this season, because I think the other teams got better, we're going to give up more. We should have given up more because of Vicario. Because Vicario is a good shot stopper, but I think we're going to give up more goals. At set pieces, I'm still not convinced of preseason. We're giving up goals. And so I think the reason why we finished seventh, because our defense is atrocious. For a big club, I don't think, and it's not the players, I just think it's the tactics. I don't see Ange adapting or changing. Right? I think he's stubborn. He's going to, I'm going to play my way, mate. I think we give up 65 goals. 65.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I have over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stel?
I think we concede less, but we don't necessarily win more games. I think the defeats won't be as heavy. I don't think we're going down to 9 men again and having that shit show against Chelsea. So that's 4 goals right there.
We may have a Newcastle.
Huh?
We may have a Newcastle type of game.
Yeah, we might. But I don't think we're going to go, 4-0 down to Fulham away and capitulate, 4-0 down to Brighton capitulate. These games happened as well during our injury crisis. So
No, they didn't.
I don't think we concede as many. I don't.
Yeah, but we had all 4 of them on some
No,
of
they
those.
didn't. Newcastle, you had everybody.
Everybody.
Liverpool, you had everybody. Arsenal, you had pretty
No,
much
Liverpool. We had Oliver Skip
Yeah,
up against Salah
Liverpool
getting
started.
rinsed.
But Newcastle, we had everybody.
Ben Davis,
Yeah,
Højbjerg,
Newcastle.
as well.
Yeah,
Newcastle.
but listen. We lost
Right.
the Dogi. We lost the Dogi for the last 3 months of the season. There is no replacement for that guy, right? It
He's not a
affects
good
us.
defender, anyways. He's not.
Okay, this is my prediction. I don't think we're going to have the injury crisis like we did last year, which I think impacted us. Spurs are always 2 or 3 players away from a crisis at Spurs. Like 2 or 3 injuries, we're in a crisis. I don't think it's going to be as bad as that next season. I still think we concede a lot. I still think we probably win roughly the same amount of games. My prediction is going to be that we come outside the top 4 anyway. I don't think we concede 63 again next season. But I don't think we're going to suddenly drop down to 40 goals. No way.
So under or over?
Just under.
We got there eventually. Right, anyway.
Yeah, but you got to explain it. We're in the entertainment business, Connor. This is entertainment.
I guarantee you guys. I guarantee you, Leicester. They're gonna concede 2 goals against Leicester, and then Stell's gonna be like, "We're fucked. We're gonna concede."
To be fair, I actually predicted that game too.
I can't wait for it.
No, we're gonna beat Leicester.
You will lose your fucking shit, Stellis. I can.
I'm not worried
Yeah,
about it.
if you lose to
You will lose
Leicester,
your fucking shit.
You're
I'm
not
telling you right
losing
now,
to
yeah.
Leicester, man.
I'm not
Get
saying we are losing. We will probably win like 4-2 or
Newcastle,
something stupid
Arsenal.
like that.
They're the games I'm worried about.
Yeah.
They're the games I'm worried about.
I'm telling you, we will win like 4-2 against Leicester because
We've got our Tottenham back. That's what we've got.
No, and Stelios will lose his shit. Stelios will lose his shit if he concedes 2 to Leicester. I'm telling you.
It depends. It depends how we
Rightfully
concede them,
so,
right? If
by the
Leicester
way.
score 2 goals and they're set pieces and it's zonal marking, then yeah. No, wait, hold on. If we concede 2 goals to Leicester and it's both from zonal marking, yeah, I'm going to lose my shit.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I'm not criticizing. Rightfully so. I'm not criticizing. Right?
okay.
Anyway,
Connor,
my answer's under.
Yeah.
Connor.
All right. That is actually funny. Imagine that you win like 4-2. You see, we've got our Tottenham back. Fucking over.
Over or under 55 goals.
For me personally, I'm gonna go over, and I'm probably gonna go around the same amount you conceded last season. Just down to the fact that you haven't improved on your defense this summer. You haven't really bolstered it in depth wise. Yeah, you got Draghi's in, but listen, as soon as the injury goes, it just completely, especially to one of the centre backs.
Jed Spence, Archie Gray.
World class.
It's not really what
Better
I call
than Chicken
bolstering.
Royale. It's better than Ben Davies.
Listen,
I'm just
I
saying.
understand.
Just
that.
saying.
I understand that, but it's not really what I call bolstering a defense. Personally, like in my personal
It's
opinion,
slightly better though, isn't it? It's like
It's
a little-
slightly, it's slightly better. I do think Jed Spence has something to prove. I hope Ange gives him a couple games. But I'm just to move on to Stefan Knapp's word. I'm going to go over and probably the same amount as last season. That's my opinion.
Stefan.
I'm gonna say,
Make it quick, Stefan. Make it quick.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, don't fucking make it into a fucking.
Stefan's gonna rinse
over.
us.
I'm gonna say over for two main reasons. Last season, the biggest issues that Spurs had were set pieces, and the second one was getting overrun on the wings because both of their fullbacks were in midfield. So watching the preseason games, he hasn't hired a set piece coach, and the same shit is happening on the wings. So how would I even? What kind of logic can I use to say that they're not going to allow 55 goals, more than 55 goals, when they allowed 61? And I could make a very strong argument that the 61 goals were actually, you should have conceded far more. You should have conceded another, maybe. I would say Vicario saved you from conceding 4 or 5 goals, literally, with the saves he made. So for me, I think it's going to be over because he hasn't changed anything, because it's who we are, mate. Yeah.
I will say this. I will say this before we go to Ash. And I made note of this, that the PGMOL.
Wait,
This
bro,
is-
that's my whole point. You just ruined it.
Oh, go ahead. Go, I was gonna say,
Man.
it actually helps us. It actually helps us. But go
You
ahead.
said your bit. He said his bit, and you want to jump in. My
Um,
whole point was the PGMOL, that they are not allowed to calm down on keepers physically.
yeah.
And obviously, that place was that rule was enforced. It wasn't enforced last season, and now they've made it a thing of it because they've seen it happen too often. Like people filling with the goalkeeper's gloves, certain man twerking on the goalkeeper like it's Carney. So I think that being taken out, that can start to help some of our set piece issues. But they have to address the set piece issue. They have to at least get a man on the back post, like old school. Like I'll stand there for them. You know what I'm saying? I'll just stand on the back.
Okay, Ash, let me just ask you, the game against Bayern Munich with the zonal marking, how will the PGMOL help with that, Ash?
Jed Spence, my brother. Free Jed, but listen, younger, look over your shoulder, check your mirrors. Check your mirrors, my G, because like that's basic defender 101. You see, if a doggy's there, he's not doing that. Do you understand? So that's what I contribute that to.
Yeah, but Ash, we were outnumbered. We were outnumbered in that situation.
Yes, we was outnumbered. Kulizeski was there sleeping too. Do you know what I'm saying? I was like, Kuli, what are you doing? So it was both of them, man, sleeping, and I'm hoping that they've got the video, you know, the iPad. But you know, like we saw in the documentary of Arsenal. I'm hoping Spurs coaches have.
But we had a 5-on-3, right? We had a 5-on-3, and we had 3 players free at the front of the zonal line. If they're man marking, this doesn't happen. I don't think it's.
No, the Man City game, the FA Cup, when Man City basically knocked Vicario, and so it will prevent guys like Gabriel, because I know Gabriel doesn't like. He likes to bang with the keepers and stuff. It affects those type of games where the defense is actually, obstruction or knocking the keeper out of place. So that's where it. So the FA Cup lost to City 1-0, where they basically knocked Vicario out, right? And they even showed the picture of it when they were talking about the PGMOL. It was showing the Man City Tottenham game where they complained that, hey, City basically bullied Vicario for that goal.
Guys, have I missed something here? PGMOL, is there no rule that you can't barge into the goalkeeper? Like, what's going on here?
You cannot obstruct. You cannot, like what Ben White sometimes. If you watch,
he's a little shit. Like he pinches them and shit.
But Ben White doesn't obstruct. But by obstructing, if he holds him or does something, if Ben White just stands there and Vicario is really soft with that, like I'm shocked at how soft. Like he doesn't even
No,
push
but
him.
So what is it? Say it happens. So say it happens. What does the corner not get taken?
The thing is, right, when
Murray,
the keeper is standing on his line, right, and the cross comes in, and the keeper tries to come out for the cross, right? Many players just stood there with their hands up and prevented the keeper from going through them, right?
Yeah.
So this will not be allowed next season, right? This is the change.
Right.
You basically cannot put your hands or block the keeper from making a claim, right?
That's the official word here. That's the official word.
Similar, yeah. So
The PPML has said that the offense of holding, i.e., blocking or obstruction, will be penalized more stringently in set pieces when an attacker is trying to stop the movement of an opponent.
Murray, we didn't lose games because of this. We lost games because the way we set up to defend.
I can give you 1 or 2 games where we lost.
1 or 2 games, but the 15 goals we conceded from set pieces came from Ange and Jedinak's tactics. They are shocking.
No.
All I'm saying is
that in games like this, right, where this was the game winner, right? Like Vicario got easily bullied. I'm not saying that we're shit at defending set pieces. I'm just saying.
Okay, you've got a point, but that game, if it went to extra time, they would have they battered us in that
game.
Absolutely ripped us. We didn't have 1 shot on goal.
Yeah, okay, but Everton away.
I'm just using an example, guys.
Okay, Everton away, fair enough. That's one game.
Yeah, sorry, we went off track, right? Let's go back to this over for me, by the way, with the 55 goals because of the issues that you guys mentioned with the zonal marking and with the balls over the top. Until we fix those issues, I don't think we will stop conceding goals like crazy. And until I'm proven otherwise, I cannot make a different bet than that, right? If 55 goals, we conceded 61.
If we concede over 55 goals and just gone, I'm just letting
you know. But
I'm letting you know from now, and gone. I'm telling you.
Even wait,
I agree with Ash on this. I agree with Ash. This is why I'm worried about this season, Ash, because I don't think he's going to fix it.
How mad that is.
Fellas,
can I?
Over on the 55 goals.
Even on Ash's show when we did it 2 days ago, right? I told you I don't think he will get sacked if he fixes the issues, right? But if he doesn't fix the issues, he will get sacked because we will concede 60 goals or something, right? That's what I'm saying, right? Until I'm proven otherwise, I cannot predict anything else than over 55.
He's not going to fix it. He's hell bent on these 2 inverted fullbacks, though.
That's my fucking point. That's what I'm saying.
Over on the 55 goals.
Over. I said
over.
it 3 times
over.
Hey, Ange has to adapt.
What's next one, Murray?
Ash, did you say over or under?
I said under.
Under 55.
Because I said under 55. Has to be under 55.
I said under as well.
No, but Ash, it's not about Ash. Ash, it's not about. It has to be. What are your thoughts? Do you honestly think?
My thoughts is he is a bit lackadaisical. He doesn't prioritize the whole defending. But I just overall think we'll have less injuries. That was my hot, bold take, and I have to keep consistency here. And so I think the players last season, it was a shock to the system because a lot of them had hamstring injuries. If you check it, Ben Davies, the doggy, Van der Ven, Madison. All of them, the same injury, hamstring, out for hamstring. They're not used to that level of intensity, that level of running. Second season, their muscles should be a little bit more conditioned. I say should be, but I'm expecting it to be a little bit more conditioned, and therefore we won't have the same amount of players out for so long, and therefore we shouldn't concede as much, and they should be more used to the system and philosophy. Go on, sorry,
I've still got that theory of you are playing like this because he was at Celtic, and in no disrespect to the Scottish League or anything like that, but Celtic and Rangers, as we know, are the dominant sides of that league, and they just run that football pitch basically whenever they're playing. And I'm not going to lie, Celtic I know you see Celtic's record every season, even with Rangers, they barely have to defend. And that's what they have to. And you see, and when Andrew's at Celtic, all they got to really do is attack, score goals. That's what they're really meant for in the Scottish League. Because let's be real now. The other teams, listen, I'm not going to throw any shade towards Hearts or St Mirren or any of these other teams in the Scottish League, but come on now. The way he was playing in the Scottish League, which he brought up to the Premier League, it's never going to work. And it still isn't going to work if he carries it on next season. But And you could see why the players got so many hamstring injuries because of what he was playing in Scotland. It's very easy to do it over there because I'm not going to lie, and no disrespect, it's a pretty shite league and it's pretty easy to do. As soon as you come over to the Premier League where there's more talent and, dare I say, harder teams to play, you're going to get affected. And so are these players as well. So hopefully he turns it down this season.
I disagree. I disagree a bit here on this, right? I don't think it's because he was at Celtic. I just think he's a manager whose philosophy is keep the ball, we score.
No,
they don't have the ball, they can't score. So what he does is he spends the vast majority of his coaching and time developing possession-based football, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Pep does it. Klopp did it. There's nothing wrong with it. The issue I have is the way he sets us up to play possession-based football is fine until we lose possession. And then you see it last season. Our players, they run back, but they don't know where they're running, who's going where. It's so disorganized because he doesn't know how to coach the transition into defense. I think he knows how to defend. I don't think he knows how to coach the transition. And for me, that's where we always get screwed. And then for set pieces, he's left it to the coaches to do. But that's on him because he hires the coaches. I don't think we've got good defensive coaches. Stefan said at the start of the show, we don't have a set piece coach. So for set pieces, we don't have anyone coaching it right. Yeah. And for the transition, that's where we get found out because tactically, the way we set up to play possession-based football, it's so vulnerable to the transition when we have to defend. Pep, for the first 3-4 years, I remember, he always used to get caught in the counter against the really, really good teams.
But we always used to skin them like that.
But then he learned. But then Pep learned. I know how to counter the counter.
No, he didn't.
Hear me out.
No, but it's not that.
He slightly adapted it, Stefan. And do you know what? That's when he won the Champions League. He did.
No, I disagree. No, he changed the recruitment of the players. He started saying, you know what? I'm going to get 4. I'm going to sign Kyle Walker, who's the best transition stopper probably in the world.
Kyle Walker was part of the problem in the Champions League for 3-4 years, bro.
Okay, but in terms
he was in that.
Yes, but also the other parts of the problem was I don't think he had enough athletes on the field. And that's why now when you see the center backs that he signs, they're all over 1.85 m. They're all physical and they're all quite fast. Literally all of them are
okay. Then Stefan, that's part of the tweet.
Adopted, right?
That's part of the tweet.
Is that why we want runners now? I think that's why Ange wants more runners in the midfield because remember he's looking for more action.
But Ash, Pep doesn't push everyone up like the whole.
No, I agree. No, I agree. No, 100%. Yeah. No,
let's go with the next question, right? Because
just the final thing to add before we move on. We had this discussion in January with the injuries with Stell and why you guys were having so many injuries. And I brought up a great graphic that Sky had made about the amount of sprints compared to the propensity to injuries. Guess which 3 teams or 4 teams had the most injuries and which teams had the most amount of sprints per game. Spurs had the most amount of sprints because let's be honest, every game was like a basketball chaotic match. Then it was Chelsea who had a huge amount of injuries. Then it was Brighton and Newcastle. The teams with the least amount of sprints that still shit on for calling it Arteta's changed it to control football and it's boring were Arsenal and Man City. The 2 teams that had the least amount of injuries. I disagree with Ash. It's normal physiology, bio, whatever you call it. If you have this amount of sprints per each game with even more games, Ash, not an injury crisis. You're going to be playing with the under 18s by the end of the year.
It's not bad. They're quite good.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Over and under Arsenal's defense allows 25 EPL goals.
Mari, can I do this one? Because I've got to shoot up in 3 minutes to go over to TJ's channel. Is that all right? Because I've got to shoot over in 3 minutes. Because Calafiori is going to be a big boost to our defense. And Timber's back as well. Yeah. You know, we don't have to. I fingers crossed. I think Zinchenko might be there against Wolves. I'm not too sure. He might be a left back, but we don't have to worry about not having an actual left back defensively. There. So it's nice to have Calafiori there as well. And honestly, I wasn't one for saying we need to drastically improve the defense, but the fact we've now got Timber back, we've got Calafiori. I honestly think we could concede less. I really do. And I'm going to go under. I don't know by how much, but I'm going to go under. I think we're going to
Think
concede
you break the
under 25.
record, Chelsea?
I'm really, out of all the positions we have in terms of the part of the pitch, defense is where I'm most happy. I'm
Did
so
they
happy
break
with the defense.
Chelsea's record of 15?
No.
No way. No
That's a
chance.
bit bold. That's a bold
chance.
one for earlier. I'm not going to go as low as 15. However,
No.
I do think maybe 23, 24, but definitely
No one's
under
beating
20.
Mourinho at defending, man. Prime Mourinho defending.
But no, and listen, in my opinion,
No
our
way.
defensive situation was solid. But we've also got to remember we got very, very lucky. We didn't touch wood. We didn't have our centre backs injured a lot last season. We were very blessed.
Let's gave up 29, which
Yeah,
is,
we did. And I honestly think we're going to improve because Calafiori is a big boost. I think he's better at left back than Zinchenko and Kivior. And then we've also got Yuri and Timber as well, who in the
Who's
games he
very
played
nasty.
looked very fantastic. So, and I think he's going to be
How
a good
much
addition.
did you
We
concede?
defensively, we have fantastic depth, and I honestly, I trust that defense more than anything. It's only the games, we've had little slip ups in here, there, and everywhere, but I genuinely believe we could improve. And that defense is getting older by every season, and it's getting more experience in the league. I'm going to go for under, in my opinion. I think it's going to cook this season. I really do. Look, I can be positive. I can be positive, guys.
I have over, but just barely, like 27.
Okay,
You
fair
go.
enough.
Almost like last season, 29, but the 27 goals. So I have over. Stell, what do you have?
I don't think it will change. I think it'll be the same. I do think that Saliba and Gabriel had probably the best partnership in the league last season. And there's
100%.
and Raya, Saliba, and Gabriel, those three, there's no way they all stay injury-free again. One of them will get injured, and I think that's why it won't improve, but it won't get worse because the cover that comes in will do a good job. But you can't beat the current partnership. It can't get better than that because they just worked so damn well.
Yeah,
So
but
I
though
think the same.
Calafiori could work well with one of them. I don't know, and that's the thing.
Bro,
That's the best part about our defense.
But Saliba and Gabriel,
listen, if you
they know
split the
who
partnership-
they're playing against. They've got experience. They know the players they're up against. They know what it's like playing
it's like
Emirates.
you
They know what it's
split
like
Oasis.
playing. Huh?
It's like if you split Oasis. You can't put Liam Gallagher and Noel, two different people, because they do shit bottom there. Well, Liam Gallagher done all right, but having them together, everyone loves them. It's the best part.
Bro, it's like Biggie and Tupac. You will never, ever get better.
Yeah, exactly,
It's done.
exactly.
It's not getting
But
better.
that's the point I want to quickly make them before I leave. Our defense can adapt so well to each position. Calafiori can play centre back, he can play left back. Timber can play centre back and full back. Same with Tomiyasu.
But they don't have the
The
experience.
defensive options
They don't have the
are infinite
experience.
with us, and that's the one thing I will always praise. Mikel Arteta and Edu for getting done. The defensive situation has been sorted. We no longer have to worry about fucking Mustafi or Holding or Kolasinac or all these shit players in defense, man. It's nice to have a defense and not have it to listen. If Gabriel Saliba does go, it's a massive worry because they're so a big part of the team. But I'd happily say, you know what, we've got Timber, we've got Calafiori. I like to think that they're going to hold their own if they do play centre back. So I'm going to go for lower. But I've got to shoot off, guys. Thanks for having me on, and I'll speak to you probably for next week, new season.
Happy
Come on,
birthday.
Leicester. Come on, Leicester.
That's
Come
my
on.
birthday sex as well, bro.
Oh, you shameless.
Anyway, take care, guys. See you later.
See you, Connor. I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna go for under, but slightly under. So like 24 goals, maybe 23. But if we sign Marino, definitely under them. If we sign Marino, because for me, if Marino, it improves our defensive capabilities far more. Because if you read the stats, nobody wins more duels than him in Europe. He's the best midfielder in the air. He's ridiculous off the ball. And I think that's why Arteta wants to sign him. Combining Declan Rice and Mikel Merino in midfield is just, honestly, like that's, for me, that's if we get Merino, we will
10
be
goals. Angus, fix your fucking head. 10 goals in a
No.
season.
No, and just to add, I don't think anybody is ever going to beat the Chelsea record because Chelsea in 2006, the quality of the teams is nowhere near the quality it is today. You have fucking Nottingham Forest signing Keylor Navas. Okay, do you remember that when Crystal Palace were shit with Andy Johnson and your assistant coach?
Bloody Bournemouth just spent 45 million on a striker.
On the Porto striker,
The Porto striker, right?
Yeah, who's been linked to Milan. He's a very good striker. So
Bournemouth buys the guy. right?
Yeah,
It's like,
so that's another reason why I don't think any other team is ever going to beat that record, because of the fact that the quality of the teams back then, especially the lower to mid-table teams, were it's not even in the same ballpark for me.
Ash,
under over.
Yeah, so I'm going to say over because what Stefan just said. I think the quality of teams have gone up. I think teams are going to be slightly more direct. I think the new thing is stockpiling wingers. I've seen Brighton do it. They've got a mad amount of wingers. City are trying to follow that mode as well. I think City are going to be a lot more direct. So I think like Arsenal down the middle, you can't get through them. Down the sides, maybe not the left side now, but maybe more so the Ben White side, the right side. That's the side to attack them. And Saka might have to help out. You know what I'm saying? But I think West Ham obviously are stronger. Villa tried to pattern up. There's a few more teams that are a lot stronger. This league's going to be a lot more interesting. A lot more teams could be taking points off each other, but I think just over. Not too much though, because like Mourinho, I do rate him defensively. I think he will help Arsenal.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's really tough because I can see them conceding like 26 or 24, which one of which is over, one of which is under, right? So I'm kind of leaning to just say like bang on 25.
even, yeah.
Yeah, even like I think your defense would be just as good as it was, but I don't think you are ever going like under 20, because like under 20 is like over 20 clean sheets in a season. I don't believe you are capable of that. Just one goal here and there, and it just adds up, right? And as Stefan said, like 15 goals that Chelsea conceded, times were different, right? When you look at the Premier League right now, there are like people are saying there are like 6 to 7 teams that will fight for a top 4 spot, right? Which means there are 6 to 7 teams that are actually like quite decent, right? At least decent to up to like really good, right? So you will concede, as I said, one goal here, one goal there, and to add up for me to like 25, I think, which is still fucking mad, by the way. Like conceding 25 goals is extremely good, right?
Guys, I also want to point out, because I said the right side. Though I know I sound like a Spurs fan, but Timber is gonna be like a new signing for us. Don't forget Timber. Timber.
Yeah, I see the comments. I see it. I still think the quality of the league, reverse, has gone up. So there's a possibility that the wingers are going to be crazy this season. Some of it on them.
Next one.
Boys, I have to go, man.
All right.
See you, Stel.
Have a good show.
Enjoy the party.
I will.
Have some drinks, Sel.
Man, have some rest, man.
Yeah.
I will. See you later.
Chicken breast. Chicken breast, obviously. Right,
come on.
First manager to get sacked.
Fuck. This is gonna be.
I want to say Maresca. I so want to say Maresca.
The hate runs deep in your veins. I see it.
I want to say because the Chelsea fans are so impatient, but from what I've seen for the preseason, and I know they're gonna get smoked by City. Haaland's gonna score a hat trick on Sunday. I think they play Sunday. First manager to get sacked. I'm gonna say Maresca. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna say December's gonna roll around. Chelsea's not gonna be where they're at. I just think that situation is
Maresca.
not good. I'm gonna go with Maresca.
I'm gonna go. It's for me. It's gonna be. I'm gonna go with Russell Martin from Southampton. I think Southampton have a terrible squad. They're not ready. They barely have signed anybody. Don't get me wrong. Leicester look awful. I don't know if you guys have seen their preseason results. They've literally lost every single game. So Steve Cooper is potential. I really rate Steve Cooper as a coach. but I've been surprised at their preseason. But I'm gonna go for Russell Martin just based on the quality of their squad. And if anybody asks me why not the Ipswich guy, because they gave him a contract that's £10 million a year. That's why.
And also, like the guy earned them 2 promotions, right? Like two years ago, they
Yeah.
were in League One, so he has a lot of credit in the bank, right?
Yeah,
And I think
and he also said no to Brighton and Chelsea. So
Yeah. I think Ipswich owners have this like awareness that really I'm not saying they shouldn't be in the Premier League, but they really, and they didn't get lucky. I don't know how to word it. It's not like they got lucky, but they they overachieved, right?
No,
Let's be honest.
He's basically Eddie Howe 10 years ago. That's what he is.
Yeah. So for me, I am torn between either the Southampton guy or Nuno. I think Forest.
They have too many good players.
I have a weird feeling about Forest. Like, honestly, I was really happy when they came back because they are a historic club and the big brand, right, and all that stuff from like years gone by, right. But ever since I saw like their transfer policy and the fact that they are like so chaotic and it's always something going on there, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was Nuno. But by the way, Maresca is a good shout because like I think Chelsea is a shit show.
Ash,
It's not hard, man. Cooper.
Yeah. Based on the preseason, but I mean, preseason is very inaccurate. I think I read there was this Spurs account on Twitter. I read that Juan de Ramos won all of his 5 games in preseason.
Yes, he did.
And I think that the season Liverpool won the league, they lost every single
or like when Man United won the treble, I think I read they lost every single preseason game.
We'll start with Ash. Surprise team of the year.
Right.
Ooh, this is a good one. Let's see what
but I am skeptical of the he could be like a generational manager. He's only 31, the kid.
The Brighton guy.
Yeah, the Brighton manager. But it could work either way. He could be a super genius. Do you know what I'm saying? I like the acquisitions that he made. Like I like Gruder. I want to see what he's about.
Brilliant.
I want to see what he's about. Matoma, I don't know what he's going to be
Minta,
saying.
man. Minta. Watch out for Minta.
That's what I said. Minta first. And Matoma, I don't know what he's going to be saying. But they've got wingers, bro. Like, they've got wingers. Pedro. Was it Pedro? The black hue. I can't remember his name. I think it's Pedro. Is it Pedro?
Pedro. The striker.
Yeah. The striker. And they've obviously got Ferguson there as well. If he's fit, if he stays fit, obviously their midfielders. I remember Enciso, is that his name? Yeah, man, their team's all right, man. I think they might surprise. Everyone's looking at West Ham, but I think Brighton might turn a few heads.
We'll go to Michael. First team of the year.
Me. I am torn between. What do we classify as a surprise? Because like
team that you didn't expect to do a little bit better, or is going to shock, maybe get top 4.
Because I think Newcastle.
I
think last season was actually that's
kind of like Michael 2 years ago. Yeah, kind of like 2 years ago when Newcastle got top 4 from finishing 12th.
Yeah, so like I think Newcastle will surprise a lot of people, but I don't know if I can necessarily say they are like a surprise team because they are like hanging around, top 7, top 8. They got top 4 already. So is it like a surprise team of the year? I don't know if I can classify them as that, right? If yes, then it's Newcastle. But other than that, I don't know why, but I have good vibe about Fulham, and I have no clue why. It's like they sold Palhinha, they sold like a lot of their spine. Like I know these were like aging players, but still they were there for like a lot of time, and they formed the spine. And they sold, as I said, Palhinha, Tim Reed, a couple of other guys. But I think the acquisitions that they made are actually quite good. So I don't think they will. I don't think they will fight for Europe or whatever. But I could see them finishing like 9th, 10th, something like that, in my opinion. Which for me would be a surprise because a lot of people are saying that Fulham will be, fighting down there, right? So, yeah.
I'm gonna go for it because I said I think they're gonna make the Champions League. I think Brighton, for me, their transfer policy. Ash named all of the players, but he also another player that people are really sleeping on. Matt Swiffer. I think he's a really, really talented player, and he was wanted by. They managed to kind of steal him from Liverpool because Liverpool were waiting on
I'm midfield, man.
Yeah, he's a really talented player, and I was going to say like Michael Fulham. I've been super impressed with their recruitment and their potential. I mean, they're trying to sign Joaquim Anderson now also, which is very good. They signed if they can keep Smith Rowe fit, he'll be really good. He'll be perfect for Fulham. So I really like, and I've also really rated Fulham's coach. So I'm gonna say just because of their transfer policy, I'm gonna say Brighton. Because they've spent. Did you guys read how much money they're potentially going to spend if they sign Kadioglu, and now they're breaking the release clause for Reuter from Leeds.
Yeah, Reuter.
186 million.
Reuter.
I sense that there's a big departure on the cards, and if let's say we're talking about rumors, I think it's gonna go to either maybe Arsenal or Spurs. I sense for big money because when have Brighton ever spent like this, guys?
No. And
by the way, I want to give myself a bit of a shout out. Whenever I go to my family house, I play FIFA with my brother, and we do career modes with different teams. And we've done Fulham 2 years ago, and we signed Smith Rowe. So I'm a fucking prodigy. Nostradamus. I predicted the transfer.
Well done, Michael.
I'll go quickly. I'm gonna. I was torn between West Ham and Crystal Palace, but now that it seems like Crystal Palace is going to keep Eze, I think is doing.
No, you don't know about that. I'm reading Man City might be in.
Yeah, I'm reading Man City.
I think because of that injury, because Bob is out right for a while.
Yeah, broken foot or something. Right, that's right.
Ooh, now I'll probably stick with West Ham. I want to get to the next one. All right. This one I really wanted to be quick. Just give me a quick answer. I want to say this because this is a big issue. Will Man City get points reduction? I'm gonna say no.
No for me.
No. Never. They are too big.
Yep.
Yeah. And then here we go. The ones that people have been waiting for. Let me go with top 4 predictions. All right. My top 4. And I went back and forth, but this is my top 4. It's really close. I have City by a point over Arsenal. City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle. And I already told you guys, I have Spurs finish 7th. But my top 4 is City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle. Stefan.
I'm going to go Arsenal win the league by a points total of 93 points. City finish on 89. I'm going to go third. I really have a feeling they're going to be shit this year, but I'm going to go third Liverpool just because of the players they have going forward. And then fourth, I said for me, it's between Brighton and Newcastle. And I thought Newcastle at first, but now watching their transfers, I really like Brighton. So I'm going to go Brighton 4.
Ash?
I'm going for City for obvious reasons. City, they're a machine. Pep knows how to do it. He doesn't know how to lose. They start slow. People write them off as always, and they find a way. Arsenal not too far behind. Don't think anything changes there. Liverpool for the same reason. I've been watching them pre-season. They've been cooking teams in pre-season. I like the style of play. I think wasn't so much the results I was looking at. It was more like what Slot was getting out of them, depending on injuries. Because I think their striker in Jota he's hot fire, hot form. So then fourth, this is dependent because I feel like there's about 4, 5, 6 maybe teams vying for fourth. It is going to be like, forget the Premier League title race. They're going to be promoting the top 4 race is a big thing on Sky Sports. Yeah, I think Man U will be in the mix. Chelsea will be in the mix. Spurs will be in and around it, but probably fall off. But I'm going to give it to, and it depends. But I think Man United have improved their defense, but it depends if they get legs in the midfield, because I think their midfield in Casemiro and Eriksen, they have got no legs. If they resolve that issue and they get legs in that midfield, I think they can spin it around. I was going to say Man United fourth. Chelsea, I just don't trust their defense.
I just want to say, Ash, that was disgraceful that you named all these midfielders and you forgot the best one. What's top? You forgot that midfielder. Huh?
Saucy.
Yeah. Supposedly Fulham really won him. Did you guys read Fulham are thinking of bidding 30 mil?
For McTominay, yeah, I've heard that. Honestly, for Fulham, it wouldn't be a bad signing, but for Man United, it's like the guy is. Yeah, but my top 4, and listen, Spurs fans, please don't cook me for that. But I think Arsenal will win the league. I think City second. I think just because of the quality of the players again, I think Liverpool third. But I don't think it will be because like last season, Liverpool were up there until like game week 30 or something, right? And then they just had this little slump and fallen off. I think the gap between like Arsenal, City, and the rest of the pack will be bigger this time. So yeah, Arsenal first, City second, Liverpool third, until I'm proven otherwise. I think Newcastle fourth, although I wouldn't be surprised if they pip Liverpool to third. I don't know why, but I have like a really good vibe about Newcastle, and I think their squad is heavily underrated, and they won't have nearly as many defense. Like if they, I think they will sign Gueye, right?
Yeah, same.
So they have Gueye, Schär as a center back pairing. Botman.
Did you forget Botman?
Yeah, he's injured until like December or something like that, right? So yeah, but Botman will come back from an injury, and I am really high. I am really high on Hall and Livramento.
Guys, don't forget. Don't forget Newcastle's best defender, Nick Pope. He's ridiculous.
Yeah,
he is ridiculous.
So as I said, Liverpool and Newcastle fourth, in my opinion, and I don't know if we do lower down or just top 4, Mari.
Okay. Yeah, you can give me your order because who you have fifth?
Okay, so fifth, I think it will be between us and Villa.
Okay.
And I know many won't agree with me because they think that we are worse than that. But I honestly, I don't trust Chelsea and United. Ten Hag is a god-awful manager in the league. and Chelsea are a shit show. So yes, if Chelsea fix their shit and actually like start fielding good 11s and Maresca proves me otherwise, I think Chelsea can overtake us. And same thing with United. I think if they fix their shit, I wouldn't be surprised if they overtook us. I think both those teams have better squads than us. I'm not necessarily saying about the 11, but squads are better.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't trust their managers. So, listen, I know many will say, like, why are you trusting Ange? I don't know. I just have a bit more faith, right? That's it. So I think just because I'm a Tottenham fan, I will say Spurs 5th, Villa 6th, United 7th, West Ham 8th, Chelsea 9th, something like that. I
just look at Chelsea's firepower in Neto, in Cuckoo, Palmer. I think it's better than our front three, brother. I'll be honest with you.
And then
Yeah,
they get Osimhen.
But
Is it-
if,
is
if,
it the
if,
way?
if our defense is shit, then what do you make of theirs? It's like
Theirs makes your defense
Yeah,
look
but
like Milan's.
No, our defense is better. I agree, but I just looking at their
If they got Osimhen, let's just say they got Osimhen, all right, and
so overrated.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. Of course,
Let's crossing into that 6 box.
I will say this: don't look at last season because I would have told you last season. Yeah, the last season, the players checked out because De Laurentiis, once again, it's almost like Daniel Levy, right? He stayed away from the club. They won the league. Spalletti leaves. They bring in the worst manager of all time. He is so overrated. Rudy Garcia is horrible. You would be depressed if you played for Rudy Garcia. And so I think Osimhen, that set the tone for last season. So I think if they got him, I mean, that front three, Palmer, Neto, and Osimhen.
Mari,
guys, wait. Stefan, Faz asked you to read his super chat because he said that he super chatted like half an hour ago or something. So,
oh my goodness!
Sorry to break.
Yes, I mean to get to that. I am so sorry, Faz. It's a big supporter channel. My bad, Faz.
Yeah, read the chat, man. Chat.
Read the chat. Should Arteta be sacked if not win the league? If he does not win the league,
who should answer this? Me?
Probably you, right?
I mean, yeah. If every Spurs fan is probably praying that he does, if we don't win the league, that's for sure. But newsflash: if you read anything about the Cronkies and the way they do business with their managers, they don't sack managers if they believe in them. The Denver Nuggets, it took the guy 10 years to win a NBA championship. They kept improving, kept getting closer every year until they won it. They kept him. The Colorado Avalanche head coach was worse than Mikel Arteta in his first 2 years. They improved, and then I think in his 6th or 7th season at the Colorado, he won the Stanley Cup. So no, if they're all in on Mikel Arteta has to have an absolutely catastrophic season next year for them to even contemplate getting.
By the way, Stefan, can I ask you something, right?
Yes.
Because there were and it's just rumors, right? But I think there were rumors when the previous season ended, right? That Mikel Arteta was contemplating leaving, right? Leaving by himself, right? So in the scenario, if you didn't win the league this upcoming season, do you think there is a chance that he will walk? Maybe not get sacked, but just
because the way his personality, if you read about like articles about him and just in general, he's extremely ambitious, he's obsessed with improving. So I honestly, those type of personalities, I don't see him leaving before he wins something big for Arsenal. And to be honest, I think the Cronkies are going to roll out the red carpet for him. They're the biggest sports entertainment group in the world. They have so much money. So they'll say, why would you want to go to Barcelona, who can't fucking register players? We have the most amount of money in the Prem. We'll back you always. Now they're going to sign Marino. That's his recommendation. Calafiori, that was his recommendation. It wasn't the scouting team. The scouting team wanted Hato from Ajax. So they're backing him to the tilt. Why would you want to leave that? Whilst you're challenging, you're competitive. So yeah, for me, I honestly don't see him leaving in the next 5 to 6 years unless there's a drastic failure or something changes massive.
Yeah.
So the only way he goes out is if like they fell out the top 4.
That's for me. Yeah.
And Liverpool pipped them like pipped them, and Maresca or one of these new teams has somehow beat them to it. Then I think
but honestly, if I was his agent, I would be doing the same thing that they're doing now, Ash, which is leaking kind of rumors that he might be Pep Guardiola's successor, or Barcelona are really interested. Why? Because then that gives him more leverage in the contract negotiations where he says, I want a guaranteed budget every season of 150 to 200 million. stuff like this. So for me, that's completely normal. I just think the Kroenkes. I also think Arteta, if you watch his interviews, the way he talks about Josh Kroenke, Arteta is extremely thankful that they kept with him, because let's be honest, including myself, a lot of Arsenal fans, that first full season, he should have been sacked if we look at it objectively. And I think Arteta, from that perspective and how loyal they were to him, I think there's a little bit of like a sentimentality towards that.
What would it take for you to fall out of love with Arteta? Sorry, so to say that,
right now, I honestly,
Arsenal fans are protective of Arteta.
I'm really protective, and I'll tell you why. I've been a fan of Arsenal since I started watching them since 2000, so I remember the Invincibles and stuff, but I also remember the humongous mismanagement that literally the decline in Arsenal after 2006, and how literally everything was so predictable every season. February would come and we would collapse. Every transfer window, Ash would be poorly managed, poorly planned. Every transfer we usually would be a panic signing, or we would just everything regressed completely. And what Arteta has done, the way he's transformed the club, just in every single way, looking at just from the very minor things that I see, like injury management, for example. We were Chelsea and Man United we were that in Wenger's last few years, of like in terms of how many injured players we would have. So for me, I look at the way he's transformed the club, and most importantly, I've always said it, the culture of the club, the profile of the players. We don't have any dickheads in the club anymore. We don't have any prima donnas like Man United, like all of those big teams that are in decline, and that is down to Arteta. And I honestly, for me, I'm really grateful, because I really honestly, it was really difficult the last few years of Wenger and the Emery years. Like, I really fell out of love, like in terms of with the club, and he kind of regained it for me. So I'm biased. I'm biased. Yeah.
I see it, man. I see it from a lot.
No, because I would like, because you're a Spurs fan, so but like, for example, going to fucking Stamford Bridge under Wenger, I knew we would lose every time, because I knew we would play the same way, the same exact tactic, and not only that, the players that we would recruit. For years, Wenger ignored the fact that we needed a number 6, that we needed defenders. He kept signing 1,000 attacking players, kind of similar to what Liverpool. The more I saw the end of Klopp, the more I see kind of the end of Wenger, how he continuously refused to recruit defenders and to replace. He was more sentimental than ruthless, and that's what Wenger did. He kept injury-prone players, and I'm so glad when I see Arteta. Ramsdale thinks has one really good season, then thinks he's the shit, regresses, boom, David Raya, you're gone. Zinchenko was one of the biggest instigators of our rise that first season with Gabriel Jesus. Not terrible, next season, boom, Sassine's California. I love it. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's just, we gotta move on. We still got a few more last topics. Player of the year, EPL, and for your team. My player of the year, it's between these three players.
No, Mari, choose a player. Choose a player. Yeah. Come on.
And I'm going to eventually, but I'm gonna make honorable mention to Odegaard, because I think he's very important to your team, and Isaac. I think Isaac is going to be a big reason why Newcastle gets the Champions League spot. I think he's going to have a big year. I have him scoring over 20 goals. But when it comes down to it, I am going to go with Player of the Year with Haaland for Man City over Rodri. And so I have him as the Player of the Year. On Spurs, I also have a couple of candidates. I did want to choose an easy one in regards to Sonny, but I wanted to pick someone who would be an unsung hero for our team. And so There's just a couple of players, but I'm going to go with there's 3 players I was torn between Romero, Bergvall, and Porro. And for some reason, I looked at the preseason. Porro was okay, steady Eddie. I know defensively he's not the greatest because Ange doesn't play that way. That's not his tactic. So I think he's going to do his job well. He's going to do what he's going to do. I give the player of the year, Pedro Porro for Spurs. He's our player of the year. And like I said earlier about Bergvall, I think Bergvall's going to hold his own. Out of the young kids, I think Gray is not going to be good. Not going to be good, but he's not ready. He's not ready at all. He has a long way to go. I think Bergvall's more advanced than him on the pecking order, but and play. So Erling Haaland and Pedro Porro as team player of the year.
Okay, for me, I'm gonna go player of the year will be, in my opinion, because Arsenal will win the league, and in my opinion, will be Martin Odegaard. I think every season he improves, and his leadership qualities improve also significantly. So I think he's ever improving. So that's why I'll put him there. I will make honorable mentions for Saliba. I think because people are predicting we're going to have a really good defense, I do think that he might be chosen if Arsenal win the league as the player of the year. As for young player of the year, when it comes to the Premier League, I'm going to go for a more out of the box. I'm going to go for Minta from Brighton. Being super impressed with the highlights that I've watched on Brighton, and I really like him. Him or another honorable mention,
Marco.
Okay, not Barco, but the guy from Wolves, the new signing that Wolves signed.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for Arsenal's player of the year, I'm gonna say it's gonna be again Martin Odegaard for the 3rd year running.
Okay.
Ash.
Rodri, I think he's a unicorn. You won't see many players like him again.
Come on.
Yeah, Rodri for me. I don't know. No, you're not rating him? Fair enough.
No, I rate him. I think he's world class. I've seen much better defensive. Busquets was 1,000 times better.
No. Yeah, but we're talking about in Prem, no? Are we not?
Yeah, in Prem. Yeah, I really rate Rodri. I just think the hype that people give him is. I honestly even.
Let me rephrase it. I think Rodri will be. Yeah, I think he's been there and thereabouts for a couple of seasons, and I think he'll push on. Shall I say? I think he will push on. I don't think that's too crazy.
No.
I think young player. If we're going to talk about young players standing up, can I say Calafiori is a young player? Is that allowed?
No,
they're not gonna pick a defender. Come on, Ash.
Like the young player has to be 21 when the season starts, and I think Calafiori is 23 or something, right? So
he's 22, I think. I don't know, but
22 or 20. You basically you cannot have your 22nd birthday before the season starts, right? So if you finish 22nd birthday during the season, you can still be chosen as a young player of the year, right? But I think Calafiori is 22, 23 or something.
Fuck it, Ash.
He's too old. He's too old. So I'll do the Bergvall thing as well. He has impressed me. I'm trying to think of other young players that will get near him. I think he's going to be a breakout star. How many goals he gets, I don't know. I'm not too sure. That's up for debate. But that's a player I think he will do well with that kind of age range.
Holy shit! I totally forgot about Wharton. Fuck, I should have for my young player of the year. Shit.
Wharton will do bits. And that's it. Is there anything else I need to say? Because that's Spurs are
player of the year and young player of the year.
Yeah.
Spurs is player of the year. Who do you think?
Oh, Van der Ven. Van der Ven, bro.
Even
He's
if you
consistent.
wait, Ash. Even if you concede over 55 goals,
Mate, it already happened. We conceded 61, and he was still player of the year.
did he
So,
win Player of the Year last year?
yeah, he won
Oh,
player of the
okay.
year last year.
I
Yeah.
He
really,
scored goals. He did everything, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually thought Poro was your Player of the Year, but that's just me.
No,
Or
So,
Romero. even.
Mickey, did Mickey score more?
no. Poro had like 3, Mickey had 3, and Romero had like 5, I think.
So they're the
Something like
same.
goals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, like player of the year, in my opinion, I don't. Shit. I think it will be Saka. Because I don't think he is eligible for Young Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. If
No, he's not. He's not. He's 20.
I think he's over 22, right? So, yeah, it will be Saka, in my opinion, for Player of the Year. Young Player of the Year, I cannot do Manchester accent, but Kobe fucking Mainu or something like no, just joking,
It's
Adam
not
Wharton.
bad, show, yeah.
Just
That's
joking,
good.
Adam Wharton. No, like, yeah, I actually rate Kobe Mainu, but he is getting overhyped to oblivion, in my opinion. Yeah, and for us, I think it will be Player of the Year. I would like to say Romero, but I think it will most likely be Son or Van de Ven, just because I have a feeling because are we talking about like the fan voted Player of the Year, or
Yeah,
or just
yeah,
like the best performer?
Your personal, like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Your person.
my personal, I think it will be Romero, right? But I think like the prize will go to Van de Ven or Son because they are like fan favorites, right? But I also want to really shout out Poro because I think I know defensively he has his issues, right? He's not the best defender, but the thing this guy does with football at his feet, I am completely in love with. I kid you not, I really love the fact that he is one of our players. And to be honest, I wish we didn't invent both fucking fullbacks so that we had a left back that actually defends and give Poro license to go forward. But unfortunately, with the way we play, he gets exposed constantly because like we have 2 center backs and all that stuff, right? So yeah.
okay, and we're almost done. We have European
Flop of the year? Oh, European prediction.
well, we can add them. We got time. So it's gonna end at the end of the hour on the dot. So we got 25 minutes. All right, European predictions.
Shit.
This is interesting. The Conference League. I'm not. I don't really care to name a team. Chelsea should win that. So I mean, if they don't win the Conference League, I mean,
Don't get me started on Conference League.
I mean, they should win it. The Europa League. You said it earlier, Michael.
Europa League has Man United written all over.
You stole my thunder. He's horrible in the league, but when it comes to getting a cup, I have United winning the Europa League. I know people. I've heard our fan base say we're winning the Europa League. I'm like, no. There's some really, really good teams in the Europa League. I'm not saying we're going to be terrible in that. I think we'll do okay. I don't think we're going to win it. I don't think we're good enough to win it. I think United's going to win that. So I'm like, do I go chalk?
The narrative that VDV is shit is unbelievable. Who the fuck said VDV is shit?
Who else, man? Scott.
Oh,
Scott.
okay.
The Champions League.
It's good.
I could easily go chalk and say Real Madrid, right? Or I go chalk, it goes Man City. But you know what? I'm going to say this.
No, don't say Bayern.
I'm not even gonna say Bayern. I'm gonna say who's going to the Champions League, and this is my crazy wild take, and I'm gonna say Atletico Madrid.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm going
I
with
did not expect
See,
that.
that's a bold prediction.
Yeah, that's a bold
Yeah.
prediction.
That's a bold. I'm gonna go Conference League.
and I will say this: Arsenal goes a step further. They go to the semifinals.
Yeah, that's.
I think the way they built, because you have to have a good defense. I like teams that play defense to go far in tournaments like the Champions League, and so I think you guys get to the semifinals. But my eventual winner, I have Atletico winning, and then I forgot this: the FA Cup. Um, I have
Newcastle.
you know what? You know what? Thank you. I'll say Newcastle. I'll say City wins because they most years they win the Carling Cup, the League Cup. They win the League Cup. So City and Newcastle.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with Arsenal in the European competition. I agree with Mari. I think we're gonna make the semis this year, but I don't think we have enough star power up front, counter-attacking power. I think usually the best counter attacking team wins the Champions League. Real Madrid with their wingers, for example, they don't have a bona fide striker. So for me, Arsenal just don't have enough star quality to win the Champions League yet. Who's gonna win the Champions League? I honestly think Inter are gonna win the
You-
Champions League.
Damn.
Funny that you said that because I was like, either Atletico or Inter are the type of team I see winning it like this year. I went with Atletico. So
I
it's
just think Inter, Atletico. I agree. Diego Simeone is an amazing coach. He's revitalized the team, but it's their first year together. I think it's too early. I think they're too green to win the Champions League. But for me, Inter are a really seasoned team. They have veterans all over the pitch. They're I think the best defensive team along with Arsenal overall in league and in Europe. So they have a really solid, and most importantly, their main strength is counterattacking. And for me, that is the most important thing in the Champions League that you need. So that's why I picked them. Europa League, I'm going to go for out of the box. I'm going to go for Roma. I've been super impressed with their recruitment.
good shout.
I've been super impressed with their recruitment. They signed La Liga's top goal scorer, which for me is a massive coup.
Yeah.
And they have reached the Europa League. They have been very good in European competitions the last few years, so they're quite experienced. And then Conference League, honestly, I don't give a shit, but I'm gonna go Conference League. Trying to think which team. I don't know which teams are in it, but I'm gonna say one of the French teams that are in it. I forgot which. I think Nice is in it, if I'm not mistaken, or Lyon. I'm gonna go for Lyon.
I think Lyon.
Yeah,
but
I'm
not sure.
gonna go for Lyon because they've also signed some very good players.
Yeah. By the way, the French league is signing good players this season. I think
they're big time.
I think
Marseille and Lyon are really signing some.
Monaco.
Yeah,
Monaco,
Lyon. Like, even though we completely dominated them and they barely did, if you saw the players that were playing for them, they were all like Premier League. Like, they had Mangala. They had a number of players. You know, Maitland-Niles. They had Lacazette was on the bench. Like, they have some for the Conference League. That's a very good team, in my opinion. Who's next? Did everybody finish? No.
Yeah, Real Madrid, I think, will win Champions League. It's not. I mean,
fucking Vini and Mbappe Rodrigo up front.
oops.
Valverde, Chouameni, fucking Camavinga.
I mean, what we do there?
Did the rich get richer, right?
Europa? Who do you think Europa?
I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. I'm thinking maybe I saw how Porto was giving you a bit of trouble, so I think maybe Porto could maybe possibly.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're really good in European
No,
competition.
I was there too. Bilbao is Atletico.
I watched them today. They're shit.
I'll say
They're all
Porto,
very
man, personally. So I'm gonna go for Porto Europa League. Conference. I'm gonna just say the Chelsea scum, proper Chelsea.
Scum.
I think they should have enough firepower, enough. They've got the depth in their squad that they should be able to rotate and still hurt those teams, man. I think there's no way they shouldn't be walking that cup. But it'll be funny if they don't. So I'm here for it. And what was the last thing I need to predict? Is that it?
FA Carabao.
I've got to do
Oh,
FA.
fuck, I forgot FA Cup. Okay, no worries. Go on, Ash.
FA Arsenal. Hey.
They're serious about it. I had thought about it. I'm like, if they're serious about it, they could. But it really.
If we sign Marino and a forward, I would agree with you guys.
Hey, listen. What was I going to say to you?
What Ash?
I forgot. No, I completely forgot. It's gone out my head. Don't worry. Would
Oh, FA Cup. FA Cup. I honestly think.
Would you take a Champions League over a Premier League title?
100%. 100. Ash, we have 13 Premier Leagues.
Yeah,
and zero Champions League. And everybody always says that to Arsenal fans. Yeah, but you have no European success.
Forest and Villa fans always saying, they sing the song. They've never done it in Europe. So,
well, we have won a European trophy, but that's another thing. But it was just the Cup Winners' Cup.
Cup Winners' Cup back in the day.
Yeah. So but still, 100% Ash champion. It's like me asking you, would you take an FA Cup match or the league?
Oh, easy, the league.
What, the league? Yeah.
League. Yeah, of course. Because the last time you won the league was in the 60s, right? So yeah, of course. It's the same with me. But FA Cup for me.
Last one though. Would you take Bissouma in your midfield?
Wait, but
Bissouma next to Rice. Bissouma next to Rice.
Yeah, true. But Bissouma before drugs or after drugs? I just, guys, before we finish up the show, before we finish up the show, can all the Spurs fans that are all three of you, what is your opinion on the Bissouma incident? Honest thoughts.
Yeah, I want to give my predictions first.
Oh, shit, I forgot about that.
Do you want my clean language or you want me? I've been hard on
Bissouma. Harder from last season. But hey,
pause.
Predictions. Go on.
Yeah. So, and by the way, I have to get something off my chest with Conference League, right? So prepare for like a 2-minute rant, right? But Champions League. I don't want to give a boring answer, right? But I think it will be Real Madrid. But I think the team that has the biggest chance to upset the apple cart or whatever the saying was, I think it's Inter. Actually, I really rate them. I really rate the team. So that's Inter for me. But most definitely Real. I think Europa League. I agree with Stefan. It has Man United written all over it. And do you know what the worst part is? Because at the beginning I said that I think we will do well in the Europa League. And I don't know why, but I have this shitty feeling we'll either lose a semi or a final to them. I have this shitty feeling we'll lose to them either in a semi or a final, and United will win it. And Conference League. I honestly don't care who wins it, right? Probably Chelsea, just because of the sheer fucking size of their squad, right? But I have to get something off my chest, right? Because my local team from Poland played in the qualifiers for the Conference League today, right? Against, so my local team is Śląsk Wrocław, which is WKS for the ease of saying, right? And we played against Sankt Gallen from Switzerland or something like that. Yeah. We lost 2-0 away and we played them home today, right? In the first 10 minutes, we get a goal ruled out that was really contentious with the lines of VAR were like this, right? Then they score against us, so it's 3-0 in the aggregate, right? Then we score 3 goals in the span of 6 minutes at the end of the first half, right? It's 3-3 in the aggregate, right? Then we go into the second half. We get a penalty in the box. We get fault in the box. The ref points to the penalty spot, right? They call him over to VAR. They show him like a fucked up replay where basically you cannot see the contact. He determines that our player, the captain, dived, gives him a second yellow card, red cards him off, right?
Oh, no.
Red cards him off. We are 3-3, 10 men, right? Then, fucking, trust me, that's not the finish of the story, right? It's like 60th minute or something. Match goes to complete like overload. Like players start choke holding each other, slamming each other on the ground. It's like every single fall is like a leg breaker or whatever, right? Like I think one of our players actually got his ankle like broken or at least like sprained or something like bad happened to it, right? To his ankle. Then there is like a fucking racist incident with the fans, right? That the black goalkeeper gets called something, right? And they have to pause the game for like 10 minutes, right? Then, like in the 108th minute, because there were like 18 minutes of added on time, right? St. Gallen gets a penalty, right? One of our players gets a second red card, right? So we are now playing with 9 men. The penalty gets taken. Wait, it's not. I'm not finished. I'm not fucking finished, right? They take the penalty. Our keeper saves it, right? It's imagine 9 against 11, 3-3 on aggregate. We save the penalty in the 108th minute. It's not added time. It's still the second half, right? 18 minutes of added time. He saves the penalty. VAR stops it, and they say that the keeper went off his line, right? And they repeat the penalty. Another player gets red carded, so now we are like 8v11. Right?
Oh,
Solanke scores a penalty, and the game finishes in like, I think the clock was like something like 113 minutes or something like that. It was still the second half.
Where was
right?
the game?
At our ground in Poland, right?
Did the ref get out alive?
I'm honestly not sure, but I think they need to send in like an army to escort them
Yeah,
out.
because I'm sure the Polish fans absolutely killed them.
I'm honestly surprised that they didn't invade the pitch, right? And
yeah, for sure,
after the whistle, it all starts kicking off. Like players go at each other. Like red cards get flown about, like and apparently they scrapped in the changing rooms and all that stuff. And I kid you, this competition is a fucking shit show. I
disagree with
this.
I
mean the level of refereeing, the level of play. It's enjoyable as fuck when you watch it, right? But I kid you not, like the level of play when you compare it to like Champions League or something, it's absolutely like.
No, that's true. But I watched Olympiacos win it this year, and Greece was just popping. They were having because people don't know, but Olympiacos won the Conference League, and then Olympiacos, their basketball team, won the Euro League, which is like the NBA of Europe. Yeah. So Greece, Athens was just like a party for a week. Because
later stages of Conference League are actually really like some quality teams there, right? But the early stages like qualifiers, fucking hell. Like...
There's some good teams, but let's see. I mean, I'm just, it's for me. It's good to have more European competition so teams can compete. Look at West Ham. Look how happy West Ham fans were. To tell them that it doesn't matter, tell them that it's a third-tier competition.
No. I'm not in that camp. I really respect every competition. Right? I'm a fucking Spurs fan. If we won the Conference League, you couldn't say a word to me, Stefan. I would be just sipping pina coladas, being like, "We won a fucking trophy." You can hold on this, right? But I'm not in that boat to dismiss the Conference League, right? All I'm saying, like the referee. I kid you not, you know how it goes in the Slavic countries, right? And in the Balkans and all that stuff. I will be surprised if he leaves the city today.
No, if the way you make it sound, knowing Polish fans, I'm really surprised. Like he doesn't need like a 24-hour escort, because here Holy shit! I remember what was it? I think Partizan played against. I forgot some. I think it was a Belgium team, and the ref fucked them over. The fans invaded the pitch, tried to get to the ref. It was really bad. So yeah, but
All right. We are going to end the show with final predictions over the weekend. There's two games. Arsenal is at home against Wolves, and we are on the road at Leicester City. My prediction is we beat Leicester City 3-1. The fans go over excited because I know our fan base, and you know what? It's always good to celebrate a victory to start the season. But I know our fan base goes super excited, and so but I think we win 3-1. I actually think because we start with Leicester and Everton, it, the first two games you could have asked for better two games for us, and then the third game we have the North London derby. But for Monday's game, I see us winning that game. I see us winning 3-1, and then Arsenal versus Wolves. I see it being probably your first clean sheet of the season. 2-0. Just ho hum 2-0. So 3-1, 2-0, and Spurs fans will say we will start singing we're gonna win the league, we'll go overboard, blah 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 and blah blah blah. Go ahead, Stephanie.
I'm gonna go for exactly the same scoreline as you said. I think Arsenal will have a very controlled. Wolves won't have a shot on target. Probably it'll be quite boring. It'll be a 2-0 win for Arsenal. And then for the Spurs one, I think I'm gonna go for a 2-1. I think it's gonna be. I read your recent record at Leicester is not. It's always a very difficult game for you guys. I think the last time you played at Leicester when they got relegated, did you not lose 4-1?
Yeah, 4-1.
Yeah, so it's not a good ground. It's not the best ground for you guys. And
although with Leicester we have a history of like going like if you want to bet, just bet over 5 goals because like Leicester Spurs games it's always like fucking 4-1, 6-2.
Okay, maybe you know what? Let me change
5-2.
3-2 actually. Yeah, 3-2 because even though Leicester have been horrendous in preseason, their biggest strength is your weakness.
Wings. Yeah.
On the wings.
Wings.
So they have really fast wingers that can break really well, and that's usually not a good combination for you guys. Go Ash. Prediction.
I think it'll be Arsenal. Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be straightforward 2 or 3-0 win. I think 2-0. I'm gonna go for 2-0 for Arsenal. I think Spurs will get the job done. I don't know. I think they could concede. So maybe, I agree with Mari. Maybe a 3-1. I just think they're going to play 4-4-2. I think they're toothless. No Vardy. I know their wingers are quick, but I think
what's his name? The other guy. That's Solanke. What's it? That's Daka. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he'll be up front, but I don't really have him in high regard. So yeah, I think we'll get the job done, but I don't think it'll be pretty. So I think that's when the debates will happen, like because we'll win, but then there'll be question marks about defending, etc. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So for me, Arsenal, I think you will start like a bit slow, so 2-0. I don't think you will just wipe the floor with Wolves.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of the season. A lot of fit players. Like I think you will take it safe and just 2-0. And for the Spurs Leicester game, as I said, I think games between those two clubs are a shit show. Always mad score lines. So I think it will finish something stupid like 4-2 or something like that.
Oh,
I-
he froze.
My back, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so when I said to Stel that he will lose his shit, I was actually being kind of serious. I think we will win for 2, but we will concede a counter-attacking goal and the set-piece goal. And I think it will be like, yeah, we won, but all the issues are still there.
Yeah.
So that's the way I want to see. And Mari, like quickly,
That's
do
exactly
we
what
have like 1 minute or something?
Yeah, we got 2 minutes. Yeah,
Okay, can you allow me to share the screen?
yeah.
Yeah. Just I hope I can. It's just a still image. It's not a video, right? So when I told you about the clubs that played in the Conference League, right? We had 3 Polish clubs. One of them, Wisła Kraków, they are in the second tier in Poland, and they just advanced through on penalties, winning 3-0 against Spartak Tarnawa, right? Then this is the thing that I wanted to show you. This is from today's match that I described, right? 25 fucking added minutes.
Oh my goodness!
3 red cards, 4-3 on the aggregate. It's absolutely mad.
I'm telling you guys, I'm disappointed in the Polish fans. If this happened 10 years ago, the ref would not make it out alive of the stadium.
And this is the coach of Legia Warsaw, who just eliminated Brøndby from Copenhagen, and he gave the middle finger to their fans, which exactly the Conference League today in Poland was a shit show.
That's
But isn't those things the essence of why Conference League is awesome in its own way?
But partially yes, because like all the the constraints of like Premier League and Champions League, when it's like a bit glorified and how do I put it, like a bit posh or something like that, right? The culture and all that stuff, like it all goes out of the window, especially in like the qualifier rounds, right? It's
no, for sure. Well, okay, Mari, that's it.
Yep. That's it. Guys, if you could subscribe to Spurs King TV, Asthmatic, they have the post-game show, which will be immediately after their game on Monday. I know someone posted because people are on vacation whatsoever. Actually, our post-game, usually Monday night show will be on Tuesday. But Ash has the show also on Tuesday and the Rivals show on Wednesday, which is the highlight of my week because I'm always laughing. Just the people he got there, Preach, Deji, Stephen, Michael, who made his debut. Was that your debut Wednesday?
No, you were on
Tuesday.
On Tuesday, yeah.
On Ash's show, I think I was on your show also before, but I think it was like a long time ago. So
yeah. It was during the season.
Hey, let me tell you, Mar, you have no idea the amount of hate from the rival show, the members towards Arsenal. It's always in the group chat. They're talking.
I saw it yesterday. All their predictions.
They're talking so much shit about Arsenal. You have no idea. I'll be absolutely shameless and unbearable if we win the league this year. They will all leave. Ash, I'm sorry. They will all leave the group, the WhatsApp group.
They will. They said it already. They said it already.
Imagine.
If they're gonna go, they're gonna delete the group. They're gonna go on silence. They say they can't.
I'm telling you, Ash. I'm telling you.
You give it to them. I want you to troll them hard.
Jay. No, I'm telling you, Jay and
Preach.
We'll never do another stream if Arsenal win the league.
And I feel so bad for what's his name, because Arsenal.
Jinx.
Yeah. This is like, no, Stefan, don't do this.
By the way, guys, Bissouma suspension. Like, do we have time to talk about that, or you want to let Mari? Would be nice.
Quickly. Spurs fans, what are your views? Let's start with Mari. And
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know it was a rule because people in America, they do dumb shit like that. But apparently, in America, we helium, inhale gas. People take.
But wait, Mari, is it legal in the States?
No, it's actually illegal. It's not safe to do. But who polices that? Like they're catching drug dealers and criminals and stuff like that. No one has time for that. But apparently, It's huge in the UK, and my thing is like, what was the purpose even like doing it? But them posting it on social media.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
that's the issue for me.
And mind you, I'm already questioning your intelligence because of last year, and I was challenging his play because I know Michael's heard this, and Ash. There's too many times I've watched on the counter, like he doesn't track back, he doesn't help the defense. There are times I'm like, look at Bissouma walking, even the NBC Sports coverage here in the States, the Peacock coverage. They say, hey, look at Bissouma. Like, so for me, I'm sour on Bissouma, and now that this happened, it's even worse. So for me, like, I'm really, really sour on Bissouma. Steph, will tell you. And now with this, I'm just like, dude, man, we need you to like grow up. We need you to.
He's
Yeah.
27. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's all I'm gonna say. Like what he did was the epitome of I don't even know what to call it. Arrogance, stupidity. Because to think
why would you snitch on yourself? Why would you snitch?
Why would you? First of all, why would you post a lie?
I'm good to ask for that.
It's like you know what the equivalent of what could have been. The only positive is it could have been worse. He could have been doing cocaine and posted it live. Also, that's the only thing I can think of. But to do it and to know that in the UK specifically, right now, there is a massive government campaign against it in healing, like massive, like there's a massive issue in the UK with that, with deaths related to that, and to do that, to me, it confirmed everything that Mari was always skeptical. I was the most skeptical. Again, I'm gonna say I predicted this last year. I said he's overrated. He's gonna let you down, and it's everything. Like I think that epitomizes his own mentality. He doesn't take his career, I would say, seriously enough for him to do laughing gas, for him to be. I think he was right before the Bayern game, if I'm not mistaken. He went out partying. Was it the night before, Ash? Or
no. He played against Bayern, so it had to be.
Yeah, so I had to. Okay, so
I would say this too. I don't believe this rumor because it makes sense. But if it was a miracle that we could get Lucatelli,
he's not leaving you.
I would kiss my pants like bye Bissouma. Here we go. Lucatelli. Hey, my boy. Great breakdown the other day, Ash. He would be perfect for our team.
Go on.
I was gonna say.
I also have my.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say when I put Locatelli on my thing, Spurs fans were like, "No, don't want him. No." I was like,
"What?
They don't want Locatelli?
What? Do they know?"
They were like, "No." In the chat, they were like, "No, we don't."
No, but wait, Mari. Let's be fair. He had a shit season, but everybody had a shit season.
Yeah, everybody had a shit season anyway. It's like
he had a shit season. He was benched. Yeah, I think he had a fight with Allegri, like Vlahovic.
Everybody hates Allegri.
Yeah, that's true. If you're under the age of 34 for Allegri, he cannot manage you. So, but the final thing is that for me, the lackadaisicalness that he shows in play was still there in preseason against QPR. There was one great example. I don't know if you guys remember. QPR broke. The right back pushed the ball past him, and he pretty much just quit on the play. And that's why the final thing is, before I give it to Ash, I get super annoyed because I hear a lot of Spurs fans. No, I get super annoyed because I hear a lot of Spurs fans shit on Pape Sarr, that he's not good enough, that he's this. But you know what? Pape Sarr always shows up in the big games. He always runs his ass off. He always puts in a shift, and he's a good player. Yeah. He's a good player.
Might not be glamorous, but he's solid, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead. So I believe it is my goal, guys. So I'm going to carry on. I'm joking. Anyone could jump in. So with Bissouma, he's like, when the sun's shining, yeah, he's that guy. You see, when it's cold, he goes missing. Do you understand? He's like that guy. Like you saw it. He's on social media with X, and them man are in like the trainer shop. He's in his like Louis drip. He's got his shades on. Yeah, I was saying he's looking like Soldier Boy. I said, my brother. These men ain't gonna like this, man. These men ain't gonna understand that you're a young boy doing up fashion. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that just epitomizes him. Like with the ball, he switched on. Without the ball, then he's like, he kind of goes off. Do you know what I'm saying? And even with the ball, certain times he's too casual. That's the problem. He's mad casual, like, because he's got the abilities, but ability can only get you so far. Do you get it? Do you know what I'm saying? I was a massive Bissouma fan. I'm not gonna lie, because I saw what he did in that North London derby, and I said, hey, yo, Bissouma is levels, bro. But then, off the ball, like I said, and as the season got on, I thought those yellow cards, then the red cards happened, suspensions, and then the AFCON on top, that all like stopped the momentum. He was missing for the next Arsenal derby. He was missing too many games, so that messed up his like momentum. And I think Ange, I don't know if he's had enough or not of him, because obviously it's a continuation of last season. The season ain't even kicked off, and you're missing again. I said, no, brother, come on, give us a break. Allow me. So, Bissouma's like, like I said, when the sun's shining, you know what I'm saying? Man's on the drums, playing the beats, him and Emerson, like, vibes, cartel, they're vibing up the place. It's, rainy and cold and it's not going his way. He's got a tendency to kind of be lackadaisical and jog back and uninterested and not fight for the badge. And I think that's what the fans associate that with Ndombele. And because if he was balling, if he was doing like Gaza, like nobody would care.
Nobody would give a fuck, right? But
he could be doing lines off the pitch. You know what I'm saying? Remember when Gaza did the celebration, it was Robbie Fowler, innit? When he was on the floor.
Or Grealish. Or like Grealish.
Grealish, exactly.
Grealish gets wasted like every single week.
Because he won a trophy. Nobody cares. But because you're playing shit, them men are like, nah, brother, you can't be playing whack and be doing nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if I can add my 3 cents on it, right? I think I've spoken with plenty, with all of you guys about this, right? But I remember clearly 1 year ago when Ange was getting started with the team, right? And one of the press conferences in the preseason, right? He was asked about Bissouma and he said, Bissouma has the ability and the age and the potential to be one of the leaders of this team.
Yeah,
but he needs to prove to me that he is reliable, that he is consistent, and that I can trust him, right? And the season starts, and he had a really good start of the season, right? Let's not beat around the bush. He had a really good 10-game period, right? Then he gets red carded, right? He comes back, gets red carded again, right? The amount of mistakes this guy made in that period, with I don't know if you remember, one of the goals we lost against City was him trying to dribble through four players. The red card he got against Nottingham Forest was him losing the ball and just yeeting Yates off the pitch, right? It's the red card against Luton. Then he goes to AFCON and gets fucking malaria, right? Which it's unlucky as hell, right? And then he comes back and just goes missing, right, for the rest of the season. And now this season starts. So it's not started yet, right? But the preseason
right before the start. Why would you do
the preseason is in full swing, right? And you have those words of your coach in mind. I need to trust you. You need to show me that I can trust you, that you can be the leader. And you fucking post yourself on your social media inhaling gas. Sorry, but it's just immaturity for me, right? He's, I think, 1 or 2 years older than me, but it's fucking immature. I can say it, right? I can watch it and honestly, I don't care if he did it off camera, right? It's not about him doing this. It's about him posting it on a fucking social media page, right? It's brother, just use your brain. For fuck's sake, it's not that hard to not do stupid shit like that, right? And there are plenty of players who do shit like this, right? But
No,
unfortunately,
but also his postings were of just that just show. He reminds me a lot of Aubameyang towards the end of his Arsenal time, which was
yeah,
he posts these dancing videos when you fucking lost 4-0 to Newcastle.
yeah.
Like, what do you do? Like, don't get me wrong, of course, don't be depressed and sad.
Oh
But
yeah,
but sometimes have a little bit of
self-awareness.
self-awareness. It's not gonna come out across as good. Think about the culture at the club. You're one of the trendsetters at the club because you're considered one of the best and if not senior players in the club. And that's why for me, I'm gonna say it. And I'm gonna finish with it. Conte was right.
Yeah, no, that's what I was just thinking back in my mind because
Conte immediately.
He knows
And I
players.
remember in one press conference, they asked Conte, "Why aren't you playing Bissouma?" And Conte said beautifully, "He has he doesn't have what did he say? His off the ball intelligence and his positioning. I think he mentioned it was not good enough."
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, just not to be like, just spewing shit. He's the 4th oldest player in the team. I'm not counting Giovanni Lo Celso, who is slightly older than him, right? But he's like 4th oldest player in the team. Like just by pure seniority, you are kind of a leader, right?
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
you have to have like self-awareness to not do stupid shit. To not like I think there was this one quote from Son like 2 or 3 days ago where he was saying that he always tries to be, and I know those are like petty things, right? But he always tries to be like first out on the pitch, right? On the training pitch. He always tries to work the hardest he can, right?
Yeah.
And all those things, because you are the oldest one, because you have the seniority, you can like young players will look up to you, and if you are just goofing around and doing stupid stuff, like it can trickle down to other players, right? So it's just immature and
All I'm gonna add, Michael, is if you look at those incidents, the mugging incident that he had in Paris, the malaria incident, it usually happens to the players that are unprofessional. I don't know why. Maybe it's bad luck. Maybe
malaria was fucking unlucky, right? But it's not necessarily his fault, right?
Okay. Aubameyang also got malaria. Why didn't any of the other Gabon players get malaria? Why didn't any of the other African stars? Why didn't Mohamed Salah, who was in the same country, why didn't he get malaria? Because probably Mohamed Salah didn't go out clubbing.
When
Yeah.
you drink, your immune system just drops down.
No, I know. I'm not saying.
And also just purely being out, right, exposes you to mosquitoes, right? Or,
yeah, maybe. But I'm just saying that when you record these unlucky events, it's usually like there's Michael Jordan had a very famous statement. Anything after 12 a.m. usually everything is not good. After something like everything after 12 a.m. They asked him why didn't he go clubbing and stuff.
I guess what time it is, guys, over here.
Yeah.
Solely, I think it's a good question, but we don't have enough time. But I'll just say this: yes, there is regression, either at left winger or left striker. I think there's a little regression in Son. With Solanke, we'll see if it improves in regards to spacing for him this season. So we will see that. That is one of the big questions in regards to how would what kind of year Son is going to have, and maybe we'll talk about that next week. Maybe he scores a brace on Monday. But on that note, we are out. Once again, check out Spurs Kings TV. Michael, you can see him here. You can see him on Irish. You can see him on Real Time TV. Stefan, you can see him on Rivals. You can see him definitely tonight on Thursday.
Guys, tune in tomorrow. Charlie's show, No Filter FC.
Preview.
Preview. I'm on it at 10 p.m. UK time. So if anybody wants to tune into a very objective show, please do.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, please check out Charlie at No Filter FC TV. Check it out. And we are out.